Hailing frequencies are open, everybody. Hi, welcome back to Shield of Tomorrow, our Star Trek RPG here on GNS Live. And welcome back, Eliza! Hi! Yes, so we actually don't have that many announcements today. The only thing I want to put on everybody's radar is that we've been kind of talking about it. We're getting a lot of support to go out to Gen Con this year. So some of us are going to be there. Max is going to, Max, sorry, I was just talking to Max, our producer, a few minutes ago. So is it okay if I invoke your name, Max? Okay, he's in the line. It's copyright. Sam is going to be there.
You owe Max 50 bucks.
Amy Dallin is going to be there. We hope Gina is going to be there.
What's the conflict?
Because that would
Money.
be rad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pricey.
I sounded like a real rich asshole when I asked you that just now. I was like,
What's
the
wrong?
conflict?
Why can't you just go?
I can tell you this, though.
Why can't you just take a private jet?
It's ironic. The tickets are not a problem for us. It's getting out to Indianapolis is kind of a problem. So because plane tickets are expensive. So
You have to pay to fly somewhere and to fly back.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
See, getting there is not a problem. It's
A
the
world
getting back.
before transporters. It makes no sense.
Not ready to move.
And Bonnie and Xander are going to be there as well. Eliza is going to be repping us at Star Trek Las Vegas because it happens the same weekend.
What?
So if you're out in Vegas,
Man.
maybe you should go to Vegas with Eliza and
Shit,
rep.
what weekend is this?
That's the same. It's August 2nd, I believe, or that
Yeah,
week.
2nd through 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a real Sophie's choice.
Second
Also,
through fifth.
WakandaCon is that weekend in Chicago.
It just keeps.
Why?
Dude, that's been happening all this year. The lineup for cons this year are falling on the same weekends. And
Comic-Con Hawaii is also that weekend.
Dang.
I'll be at that one.
I'll see all
I'll go to
that.
that.
Because my private jet will be
Aloha.
going westward.
I'm heading over there.
But yeah, look for us at Gen Con. We are officially the news that I was trying to get to is that we are currently trying to organize an official meetup. So we will give you guys details on that as it gets solidified and when it's going to happen. We know that the Aux crew is already prepping for a meetup of their own, and they've invited us to come hang, of which that would be rad. So I don't foresee that being a problem. We're also talking about Modifius about doing something, so we will keep you guys posted. I'll go ahead and kill rumors now. Unfortunately, we're not going to be having a live show at Gen Con, but that would be rad. That would be totally rad. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get that. So that's it for that big announcement, and I think that's it. Actually, I think there's only one other announcement, and Sam has been bugging me about this. Sam really wants to say this. Sam, what was your announcement today?
Oh, wait, did I have an announcement?
Oh, I don't remember. I thought it was today.
Hang on, let me.
Do you want to check your notes? So while Sam
check the
checks their
log.
notes,
I'm excited!
oh,
There it is.
that's what it was. You'd said it before, and I could not remember what it was. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I remember
Well,
now. I remember.
All right. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Shield of Tomorrow. That's a fair point, Sam. Doors will kill you.
A lot happening right now.
It's a fair point, Sam.
We should offer to people that are willing to drop the coin a little camera in the corner that stays
Show what
on
we're talking about
during
while
the
we're
intro
no.
because it gets
That would just
it gets really bad, and then it's like, and we're back. It's like 3, 2.
Yeah. Crit Roll does that too. Liam or Travis, and then they like to spew some of the most vitriolic shit
Yes.
at Matt before they go
Yes.
live, and it gets impressive.
So creative.
The
like, are they
poetry.
thinking of these all week?
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Like yeah.
They're remarkable.
It's amazing.
Truly
All we
artists.
learned
Yeah.
is that Hector hates elephants.
And apparently I'm a rich asshole because I keep going like, if the people are willing to drop the coin, like,
Everyone
Watch out.
drop the big coin.
what's wrong with me?
happened to you this week?
What's wrong? I don't know.
All right,
man.
what happened in Shield of Tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we had an
Hector
episode
came
last
into
week,
some
didn't we?
money.
All right.
Apparently.
Nice.
See you guys later.
House.
Invite us to your private island, please.
Yeah.
So this will be a catch up. This will be a recap for Talon as well. So in the last episode, the crew of the Sally Ride was doing its best to uncover the mysteries of this ancient race, the Dulagari, who fought themselves to extinction. And when I say doing their best, I mean they were kicking ass and taking names on the sciencing through some incredible roles.
Yeah.
Mala's finest hour.
Mammalian and reptilian.
Uncovering the crystalline entity's role in destroying this race was just a piece of the puzzle, and it was just essentially, for not to diminish this race's achievements and their bitter end, but it was essentially a stroke of bad luck on top of already a civil war that had broken out amongst themselves, leading to the destruction of their station, Horizon 2. But the data that you all were able to uncover and the detective work you were able to enact not only uncovered huge swaths of information about this race, the Dulagari, and who they were, but also what they looked like and how they might have lived, as well as what their architecture looked like, what their language was like, what their technology was, and the aspirations this culture had before war basically burned them all to the ground. There were many explorers amongst their culture that were very similar to you guys. And maybe their story actually runs something of a parallel to the USS Sally Ride and the journeys that you have all been on. And you may have gotten a good snapshot of what it would have been like to be a scientist who got sucked into the war, even when it was brought to them, whether they liked it or not. There's some strange, haunting parallels between the death of this race. Interestingly enough, though, you did uncover that there was a plot to recover the Eye of the Gods, which you all know now to be the Orb of Journeys. A lost Bajoran orb that many, even in the spiritual sects, the Vedics of Bajoran people, did not know exists. I mean, it's not the first time an orb has made itself known that had been forgotten by the ages. This one, all the way out here in the Shackleton Expanse, is a bit mind-blowing. How it got out here, what it's doing out here is hard to say, but considering the fact that it's called the Orb of Journeys might actually have something to do with that. This orb apparently was the fulcrum. It was, well, I should say, it was really the center point, the eye of the storm that really helped push this race over the edge, and from zealotry and common sense science where common sense science essentially broke down to zealotry and power grabbing. It might be even fair to say that this race was not prepared to encounter something like the Orb of Journeys. And really, that is sort of the evolutionary story of extinction, is every now and then Mother Nature just deals you bad cards, and that's just the way it goes. Dinosaurs. So, in this case, that's my quote of the game, dinosaurs. Further investigation actually led you to names and an idea of what was taking place on Horizon 2 during its final hours. The crystalline entity did attack the Dulagari race sometime after all of this had happened, and it was the end for the race, for sure. It demolished the last of its resources and basically spelled the end for the species living on the planet. Horizon 2, though, was really what marked the end of the race advancement. It set them back thousands of years in both technology and civility. Horizon 2 was it was the flashpoint for the war. Everyone wanted whoever controlled Horizon 2 was apparently going to dictate the direction of the race. The war broke out. It took a few hundred years before Horizon 2 was finally infiltrated and became the center point of the Civil War, basically moved up into space. And at the last possible minute, two brave scientists, along with a team of, like the Dirty Dozen, they just basically decided that they were going to stage a burglary. They were going to steal the Eye of the Gods and get it as far away from their species as possible. And they did. They managed to steal it off the surface, get it to Horizon 2, grab a shuttle, blast their way out of here. And two of the scientists of the team that were trying to get the orb were the only ones that were able to survive this incredible mission impossible to get it off the station and as far away. And it looks like they just plotted a course and went. And either through pure chance on a scale that is incalculable, considering the vastness of space, or the fact that they had the Orb of Journeys on board their shuttle, they found an M-class planet to which they crashed on. The investigative efforts of the USS Sally Ride, you were able to basically triangulate and get a base idea of which direction to go. Also with some strange, dare I say, mysticism, a feeling of which direction to go, somehow linking yourselves to the right direction by one Captain Martinez, just having an impulse of like, this is correct.
Nice.
You arrived in a solar system. It was a binary system with a supergiant that's being orbited by a protostar, which is an incredible sight to see. I know. Yeah, I'm always going to get the binary joke. I get it, Sam. I get it. Okay.
What? Did someone say something?
It's gotten to the point now where every time you say the word, I look straight at Sam to see
I
what's gonna
try
go
not
happen.
to look at Sam, but it's never going to.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's-
It's all of you.
I know.
Right.
Not true. You did a thing.
It's,
I want to witness it.
from now on, I'm just going to say it's a non-binary system when it's not a binary system.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here's some news for you, Eliza.
Yes.
You arrived in the system. So here's all your sciencey information that I know you're going to want to gobble up. It's a binary system. There's one supergiant. It's orbited by a protostar, so a sun that's being born.
Supergiant.
The supergiant.
Guess?
The star itself in the middle of the system is a supergiant.
Oh.
It's a yellow star. It's 971.4 million kilometers in radius, which puts it roughly 1,000 times larger than Earth's sun. It's about the size of Betelgeuse, so it's big. It's being orbited by a fairly sizable protostar, which is a sun that is being born. And as a result of that, you watch this supergiant, and it's siphoning off all of the solar storms and energy and gas that's blowing off the surface of this star, and it's literally spiraling around this brilliant white light in space, and it's creating a spectacular light show for anyone who enters the system. The system itself has 5 non-stellar objects. There is 1 gas giant. There is 1 micro-dwarf planet. There is 1 comet. There is an asteroid belt, and there is 1 Class M planet in the Goldilocks zone.
Just right.
The planet looks like this planet in its evolutionary track in the time span of this planet has just actually it's relatively young into its M-class planet phase. Like it looks like it has gradually become habitable. Over ice ages and everything that planets go through, this has become a Class M planet probably in the last 500,000 years. It is mostly barren. It has very sparse vegetation. However, its oceans are brimming with life. It has a fully functional ecosystem in the ocean. Very typical of new planets. That's where life typically begins. And the ocean life in this planet it's very comparable to prehistoric ocean life on Earth. So my dinosaur joke was actually totally in keeping.
So they're like
There are very big shark-styled creatures, and there are huge. Think of, and I'm sorry to bring up a sore point with the fans, but think of the ocean life in Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 1. So there's huge ocean life and vast aquatic ecosystems, all at.
You described one of them as like plesiosaurs on steroids, which
Yes.
I felt compelled to write down.
Because someone's gonna do a plesiosaur in a Jocks Machina t-shirt.
Please do.
oh, now they know.
Now you know you want it. Not to suggest that they're all on steroids. Steroids are on those guys. All right, so, Talon, the Orb of Journeys was located on this planet. It was at the bottom of one of the largest sea.
Good note taker.
The Sally Ride went condition blue and went planet side, entering into.
Did you see that fan art? Did y'all see that fan art?
It's so gorgeous.
Oh, better whip out your phones right now.
I'll put it in chat
Look at
for our group.
Okay.
Keep going. I got this.
the XO coming, disciplining the crew. Yes, the fan art is incredible. So Sally Ride descended into the waters and went deep into the ocean, and of course getting so many sensor readings about you're surrounded by never before seen aquatic life. A lot of them having similarities to some aquatic life you've seen before, but a lot of them completely new to record. So the Sally Ride once again is becoming this beacon of scientific knowledge, just absorbing all of this information about all this aquatic life.
You're now released to go look at amazing art.
Okay, if the captain looks, you can look.
I want to
Yes.
print that and put it on a wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see
Gorgeous.
Look at, that's it. That's the orb.
So yes,
Thank
you can
you,
go on
KB
Twitter
Tibbs.
right now and check out the beautiful art.
Thank you. Who did
KB
this?
Tibbs.
KB Tibbs did it.
Tips?
Yeah.
Tips, thank you!
It's
Yep,
really
KB
good.
Tibbs did that. You get to see our Lady Sally go for a swim. At the bottom of the ocean, you did in fact encounter the Orb of Journeys complete. It was in its Bajoran encasing and everything, just sitting peacefully at the bottom of the ocean. Talon did run a scan and discovered, of course, not the big surprise, you cannot lock onto this thing. You cannot beam it aboard. You're going to have to go physically get it off the bottom of the ocean. This is a huge beacon of light just shining at the bottom.
And there was a crash site up top too.
Thank you
Yes.
for reminding me. Yes, you guys did detect that there was a crash site, a shuttle crash site, an ancient shuttle crash site.
With decayed bodies.
You
But like
did
a structure as if they lived through the crash.
Oh, okay.
It looks like maybe that they established some kind of living area, but you detected this crash site and the fossilized remains of bodies, along with tech, alien tech. Where we begin tonight's game is the Sally Ride. Just what you remember something else?
Last week.
No.
What's that?
Nothing else happened.
Anything
Oh.
else
I have no
happened last
idea what
week?
you're.
This was the few minutes that I did catch at the airport.
I was gonna say, you know about the promotion. Everybody knows about the promotion, right?
Oh no, I don't know about that.
You don't know about the promotion?
I know. I saw a little part of the meeting.
Okay. So the reason why this recap is taking so long is
Sorry,
because
guys.
poor Lisa has been so busy
I have
she
not
didn't
had
catch the
time, y'all.
episode.
She's
So-
just doing too many awesome things, you guys.
It is true. So yes, so there was a long discussion between Lark Sage and Commander Rue, and after the discussion was completed, it was discovered the console hacking came to light, and a lot of things were revealed, including the big reveal, of course, that shocked everybody that I've been sitting on since Bonnie rolled this character, is that Lark actually falsifies records and assigned herself to the USS Sally Ride.
Yeah.
Why?
She was because
Does anyone know why?
She was originally going to be assigned to. This is all, of course, out of character information.
She was an engineer.
She was going to be assigned as an engineer on Starbase One because her parents pulled strings as diplomats of the Federation and put her there, and she pulled strings when she found out that her real parents were out there and put herself as helmswoman.
Oh.
Yeah, she'd done something
how I
illegal.
felt.
However,
Which is why we got the world's most beautiful dressing down from the captain.
Yes.
I am. Commander Vice Principal is
yes,
so happy.
Martinez had himself a that is an insufficient argument of
Yeah.
Picard style dressing down of in a Martinez flavor. And at the end of all of this, a field promotion of junior grade lieutenant was given to Ensign Lark Sage.
What?
So
Only they know about the faked paper.
it's
Right,
true.
okay.
So it's important to keep that at OOC.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not on the record.
All right.
It is
So we just know about the promotion.
everyone knows about the promotion. It's being talked about. It's been applauded on the ship.
And
of course,
the other disciplinary actions that we knew about before this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Everything else is on the record except that
one.
a thing that might conceivably be attractive to Section 31 people, since Dryden was very interested in the fact that Sage hacked her way onto our ship roster.
Wow.
Yes, because Dryden, the memory of Dryden is constantly every time he comes across any shred of information that would indicate that all of you are really good at subverting authority, which the Sally Ride historically has been brilliant at. He gets really interested in wanting Rue to put together a Black Ops version of the Sally Ride crew.
Who says we aren't already?
That's true.
Deep
That's
cover.
true. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
This is fine.
Okay, so now we were going to begin the episode. Recap over. So we begin tonight's episode. You guys are at the bottom of this ocean. Sally Ride has just touched down in a huge plume of sand that's only just now begun to settle around the corals. managed to find a pretty open landing spot, but you're about, I would say, maybe about 600 kilometers away. Not kilometers. I'm sorry, 600 feet away from the orb itself. So the orb right now, as we'll go off of exactly what KB Tibbs put us at. So the orb itself is currently resting gently in the embrace of the ancient coral of this planet. At this depth, by the way, it is a remarkable scientific curiosity that coral can exist because there is no sunlight down here.
What depth are we at? Oh, we're super.
You guys, you're not as
Abyssal plane?
you guys are on the abyssal plains, so it should be just
Question. There's no sun down here.
No
but
sunlight.
The lights around the Sally ride, which look awesome,
And the
are
light?
they taking away what we might have otherwise seen, which could have been like translucent fish
Is there
life, aquatic
bioluminescent
life?
stuff?
You're asking if there's like abyssal fish. There is.
If we turn
yes.
off the lights, will it all of a sudden like?
Yeah, we don't
Is
have
there-
to have our running lights
You're not
on.
sure, but you are surrounded by a lot of aquatic life. You do have running lights
Yeah.
on, and of course the warp nacelles are glowing a brilliant bright blue.
Yeah.
But what's curious too is the orb of journeys. What I would go ahead and what you notice is just touching down. The abyssal plane is largely as an abyssal plane should be, which is just a barren wasteland. Usually when it comes to oceans of any kind, the further you move away from land, it's a desert.
Are you saying
Wait, so
that
coral
there's-
grew up around the orb?
That's what you're saying.
Oh,
There is a coral reef that has grown up around the orb. Thanks,
wow.
KB Tibbs, for that inspiration. So yes. Now, what's curious about that is, of course, coral can't exist as you know it without light. And this orb of journeys apparently has been emanating light. Now, it's not sunlight, so there is curiosity. It's a curiosity, to be sure.
We'll have to map the radiation spectrum and compare it to the needs of that coral species. If we can find an interested xenobiologist or anyone interested in underwater botany.
Sure, we can.
If you want to make a roll, I
find
can
like
give
that
you
on the
scientific
ship.
information on that. If you want to know more, that is always your initiative to take. But I can give you information and possible solutions or problems. Or
Have I adequately tempted my nerds?
yes.
the big smile from the doctor. So yeah,
Lieutenant Commander, do you want to scan for that kind of energy?
Shall we?
I'd be happy
Both?
to assist.
Can we
what,
both?
what are they subsisting on? Yes. I said I'd be happy to assist. What are they subsisting on?
Oh yes. Yes, that's what we want to find out. Right.
okay.
And also, I've got a question that I want to pose to you. If we remove this orb, what will happen to the aquatic life down here?
Right. That's. Yeah.
If we can adequately
the
map
ecosystem.
the radiation spectrum it's using, perhaps we could have a replacement?
Or is the orb something that should have never been here to begin with?
Well,
Well.
shoulds are
Conundrum.
difficult.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't have a lot of shoulds.
What is our difficulty?
Do you like our peppy music?
We.
Difficulty here is going to be 2.
Okay. Wondering if I should do
Difficulty is
cautious?
2. I am gonna,
Oh, let's do
given the unusual nature of this scan, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 threat to just raise the complication range
Are we
by
still on
1.
the Sally?
Huh?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we
yes.
haven't bounced yet.
We're all on the bridge, looking around at each other, looking all cool.
We're like, damn, we're cool.
We're doing it. We found it.
Yo, we are underwater in a starship looking at a Bajoran orb that's grown coral around it. Yeah, we cool.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander
So-
Solana is going to use a momentum.
Okay. Go ahead.
Jack,
So
we had full.
difficulty
We
is
had
2.
Write it
6.
down, yeah.
We had 6. I wrote it
We
down.
had full.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
his-
With the
yeah, because you guys did.
doctor
You guys did some good role play last session. I remember rewarding you guys a lot. So
Because I yelled at Sage.
because you yelled at Sage. I should reward you guys every time you yell at Sage.
So we both have xenobiology focus.
Damn it, we're low on momentum. Quick, get Sage.
Sage, I hit your toe.
Eric, would you call what the roll is?
So this is. I would totally allow a xenobiology roll in this.
Great.
Yeah. It's alien. It's alien coral.
Great.
This is a sensor scan, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
So-
difficulty is reduced by 1.
So yes, difficulty is reduced by 1. So difficulty 1, you're going to be doing your reason science check. I'll let you do reason medicine here because it's a biology roll, and
gonna
Sally's
not
going to do
use
her
it.
standard sensor
Oh,
sweep.
we're putting
Complication range.
the momentum back.
Yeah, because the complication range is bigger. I don't want to have more chances to. And since it's only difficulty
true.
1.
Well, but you can re-roll with the cautious.
That's true. There you go.
Okay,
It
never
seems
mind.
But I might
worthwhile.
re-roll it. Okay.
And then we can use it for obtaining
It's only a
information
1.
if we get over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to learn about the sea plants.
I want to learn about that orb.
I've never
I don't
seen
know
a
if that's
reaction
good or
come out of
bad.
Amy
I
like
can't
that
tell.
in a roll.
Gina, is that bad?
Is that a solid 20 you just rolled, Amy?
That's a Gina reaction, guys.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Did you take a momentum for cautious?
I don't think I can do that when I'm assisting.
No.
No,
you
you
can't.
didn't actually.
But it's okay.
bummer.
What do we got over here?
I'm good. I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Add 2 more from Sally.
Holy.
Beautiful. Wow.
5, 6.
And a complication.
How many momentum do we have to spend
Scientists
to
good at sciencing.
squash
Here
a
is a look.
complication? How
What's
many?
that?
2.
2.
You
So
can burn
we'll,
2
of
momentum
the,
to squash
of the
it.
Yeah.
6 that we just won, we'll use 2 of those.
Yep.
So we'll have gained 4, net 3.
Well-
so we're back full up.
So that's
So
three bonus
complication.
right now.
okay, so just real quick, if I remember correctly, you can't stop me from gaining threat, but you can stop me from using it. So you can spend that momentum to counter a threat that I'm burning.
Okay.
But
If you spend the threat to institute a complication, we can spend to remove it, but you still acquire the threat from it.
yes, in
Okay.
this case, I'm
he tries to
using.
use it, we
but in
can-
this case, I can immediately enact a complication that does not require threat because you rolled a 20.
All right.
So
Awesome, and we can remove it.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
so
Okay.
here, so I've already got exactly what's going to happen.
He's not gonna let us do it.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you run a scan on the coral, and it's true. In about a 60-foot radius, this coral has sprouted up around the orb. You are detecting an unusual biology to this coral. It doesn't seem to subsist on sunlight. It looks like, much like some of the abyssal plane creatures, it looks like it can actually exist in complete darkness. And you suspect that the light emanated from this orb has done a fair job at attracting sea life to this area, and as a result, the coral's been able to feed off of whatever comes wandering through. So microbes probably attach themselves to the surface of this orb's containment, which, further from the scan, you actually see that the orb itself has been grown into the side of this coral, or rather, the coral has grown out of the side of the orb. That's what you get from the surface scan. With all that.
Science officer question?
Yes.
So if you want to ask science officer questions.
What effect would removing the orb from this setting have on the coral?
It would eventually kill the coral. It would probably take place over the course of a few weeks, but eventually coral would probably starve to death. It doesn't look like the light would be too much of a problem for this alien coral. It looks like
It's just the attraction of their
it
food
looks like
sources.
it looks like the polyps that grew into the coral eventually were already evolved that they didn't require light. But these probably have been able to flourish here because they had an anchor that was drawing food to it.
Right.
So
I want to know. This might be a question, but I want to know. Can we figure out another type of beacon to replace it with, so that that will last forever?
do you want to spend?
cloth
Do you want to
monkey.
spend? Do you want to spend momentum, or do you want to spend?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a science question. If you want to burn momentum for it, or
Yeah.
Yeah, we have all those
We have
bonus.
a million. Yeah.
And we're
Okay.
not using them to remove a
Yeah, we have
complication.
a
It's easy.
Chipping in character to be like, that makes sense. It would be very hard to duplicate if it were being sustained by the light, but something with just a similar effect, that's a great idea.
so to answer your question, it would still affect the coral because at this point you would have to put something in here that would actually function the way this orb has been functioning for the coral. So it would actually have to be something that still drew substance to it. Otherwise, you'd be leaving this thing out in the middle of a desert. It would just lose. So the other thing you can learn is, first of all, you can totally transplant all of this coral. You can remove it and put it anywhere else you want in the ecosystem. It's a bit of an operation to get the orb loose, and it would be minimally invasive. It would be a bit of a, dare I say, surgery, but it is completely possible to dislodge this and save this coral completely.
So the result of that question is that it would be easier to surgically remove it and transplant it than to.
If you can find a
replace that
power
beacon.
source that'll light this place and still draw life to that light source, then you can easily replace it.
Okay.
You'd have to find something that's going to last a while, obviously, because when the light goes out, eventually the coral's going to die. Or you can transplant it. Those are your options.
I have another question, idea. If
Sure.
I wonder too, because there are like radioactive substances that we could put there that would glow and would last a long time.
With a long rate of decay.
Right, but would it hurt the coral?
Well, if we need to transplant it, I've repotted many things in my lifetime, so we can help with that.
Okay.
I'd rather move and transport the actual ocean life than adding another foreign object to this ecosystem.
That is a good point.
Seems the least ecologically
It's
disruptive, Captain.
it's a little bit more of a chore, but it's probably the most.
got time.
It's probably I was going to say
our job.
this is the most innovative way of doing it, probably.
And it could possibly, if it's transported to closer to other coral reefs, hopefully they would both
Talon,
would
in
flourish.
mid-sentence, your sensors start to blare.
Oh.
You hear it, "Bidip, bidip, bidip," and then at that exact moment, the entire Sally ride, and the ship goes immediately to red alert.
Yep.
What am I seeing on my sensors?
Dysplasiosaur.
You see, as you look down,
Megalodon.
yeah, so something collides with the Sally ride, and the whole ship. On your sensors, you see a biologic just outside the Sally ride.
We have a visitor, Captain.
What are we looking at?
Can I scan it?
You can put it on screen.
Ah, on screen.
On screen.
You know what? I take that line back. I don't want to say that. I have a better one.
What's it?
Feed me that line again.
Sure.
We have a visitor, Captain.
And I didn't think to put out the good china. You know what? I don't like that one either. Let's take that again. Feed me the line
Wait, you
again.
have to do the.
The orb of puns.
Yeah.
We have a visitor, Captain.
Cool.
That's the one. That's the one.
On
Nana?
Coming up on screen, you see, as it pops up on screen, in the dim glow of the running lights of the USS Sally ride,
Better be good.
it is a creature about 517 feet in length, which is roughly half the size of the ship. Sensors is detecting it's weighing in at 680 tons
Oh my goodness.
of submerged display.
Oh my goodness.
This is bigger than a red box, Captain.
It is.
Indeed it is.
It has a body shape that's close to a blue whale, but it has fins lining its body, and some of them are varying in size, but they're large oval-shaped fins, kind of lining down, with two large fins towards where the dorsal area is that are actually like webbed clawed fingers, except for they're not limbs that come out per se. They're literally like if fins had started to evolve into the like pre-existing, almost like grabbable hands. They're very shortened. This creature's head area is also elongated, much like a blue whale's might be, except for its mouth is slightly open like a crocodile's, and it has huge teeth. Some of them are sort of jagged, and others look like they have sort of like a gnashing molar back area. Immediately, Talon, your experience in biology tells you that this thing is probably omnivorous.
Okay. Does it eat ships?
Well, right now,
It's attacking the ship.
you
will
also see.
certainly try.
Saying hi.
I should also note
We
that
don't
it
know.
has eyes lining the side of its head. And when I say lining, I'm saying there's probably sensors are detecting about 6 sets of eyes going down from the sides of its like snout area and kind of reaching back. And at first it's a line, and then it sort of does fall apart into like almost a spider-like formation.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's almost, well, I should say more like it looks like it looks very alien and squid-like on its head. The eyes kind of fall apart into like a star.
I want to point out everybody's different reactions. Gina's mortified.
Yeah.
Amy's super into it. Elisa's into it. I'm grossed out. Sam's like, "Is this a threat?" they're like, "Is this a threat?"
No, I've established that, and I want to. Actually, I would love to swap us from running lights to our full brights. Anything at this depth is not optimized to see us or navigate if our lights are way the frack up.
Make it
So
so,
we can
Commander.
do that, but to finish the description, this creature is also eerily lit up itself. It looks like it has these small bumped ridges, much like a stingray, or not a stingray, but like an eel, like these like dorsal ridges that go all the way down the length of its body, and at the very crest of these ridges that kind of run down the length of this creature's body, they're glowing a slight blue that is. It makes it look like a gentle, like, you know how it looks when you go to warp and the star streams are in front of your view screen? It's very similar to this sort of look where it looks like someone just took starlight and just spread it down this creature's body. And in this dark blue water, it's quite beautiful. And immediately, as you're about to give the order to lower the running lights, you all, from through the hull, you can hear this distant like singing that reverberates throughout the ship. And it's baritone. It is so powerful, the baritone nature of this song, that you're detecting vibrations all across the dermal plating of the Sally Ride. The new armor is this new ablative armor is actually registering vibration down the length of the Sally Ride from the sheer power of this animal's song. It's not in any way harmful. It's just that powerful that it's being detected on a level that.
Sympathetic resonance.
Let me put it this way, Talon. If this song was heard on land, it would immediately, probably permanently deafen any life form that heard it up close from the sheer power of the sound that's emanating.
Wow.
I
How
wonder
long?
if that's its hunting strategy. There are Terran mammals, aren't there,
Maybe.
Captain, that use clicks and other noises to stun.
Yeah. To stun and absolutely throw their food off balance. How long did you say this creature was again?
It's about 517 feet, and it's currently rubbing up against the nacelle.
That's
It's not biting the ship.
It's humping us.
It's currently leaning up against it, and almost. And as those words come out of Rue's mouth,
Yeah.
Mala,
Yeah.
you immediately.
What? You sense that? No. I was like,
You
this
hear.
entire time I've been sitting here being
You
like,
see Rue.
what does it feel like?
The commander is like. The commander's going through all of the hostile actions that biological life can take, and then when you see this thing leaning against the nacelle, you see Commander Rue just go, "It's humping us." And at the moment they say that, you feel, yes, it's initiating mating against the Sally Ride.
I lean as far back away
Yes,
from my station
apparently
as possible.
you can tell immediately its attraction to the blue light going down the nacelle of the Sally Ride has drawn the interest of this massive aquatic creature.
I flush immediately and start pacing at my station.
And once again, the Sally Ride just, and as the running lights come up, so does the levels of excitement.
Oh my goodness.
As the nacelles begin.
What?
sedative right now.
Levels of
Describe everything you're feeling.
Help me, I can't.
I need to write this down.
I can't.
Chief, what's happening?
They like us. Yeah. Oh boy.
Imagine the neural network that's managing why all the ocular inputs that's deep underground.
Don't talk about impulses.
Hang on a second, Doctor. Are you gonna be okay? Chief, you gonna be all right?
I'm fine. I'm great. I need a nap. I'm okay.
Perhaps a cigarette.
Commander, plan of
Sitting
action?
awkwardly back in her chair now. Doesn't know.
Well,
how
we
to
won't
sit.
be able to get an away team to the orb with this.
Yes, we have to
out
repel this
there.
creature somehow.
Or some of the team could take our friend, take the Sally, and they could go off together, draw it off with its new girlfriend, which is us.
Look, I get it. We're pretty, but stop.
How's the ship holding up, Chief?
Oh, okay. System scan. How's our ship?
Sally's fine. She's not going through anything that she hasn't
think
been
so.
through before with like encountering stellar matter and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm not talking about having sex. I'm talking about.
I was like,
I'm
how
talking
many
about.
times has this happened to our ship?
You think about it.
When
Every
you
time we
guys
go
are
to
on
work,
shore leave, you don't know what
sold
Sally was doing.
every single time we go to work, the stars,
She was on shore leave.
Yeah.
space, it's
That's-
humping our ship.
Specifically with all the interstellar matter that Sally encounters, there's
like to
nothing.
think correctly.
There's no concussive power that's taking place that's endangering the Sally Ride in any way. The solar winds that have buffeted against the hull when you guys were getting close to stars is thousands of times more harmful to
Right.
Sally than this lovebird.
I don't actually want her to go away because she seems great. But if we went dark, she might lose interest.
I would like to know where she is while we have the away team. If we know she is with Sally.
Then she's not attacking a small shuttlecraft.
Right.
Right? Yeah, at this point, I'm sorry, Chief, you're just gonna have to put up with this beautiful display of love.
Or come on the away team where the display of love will be elsewhere.
Will that help?
I don't know. Proximity. Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander, can you put a science team on gathering as much data from this encounter as possible? I'm
Yes.
sure that it would be very helpful.
Yes, Captain.
Close
Okay, great.
encounters of the.
Well, then why don't we use this distraction to launch a shuttle? We've got Commander Rue. I need you to go ahead and head that up.
Aye, sir.
We've got our chief on that. Really, Ren, are you gonna be okay?
I'm great. It's just large.
Consummate professional.
Lieutenant Sage says, "Would you like me to pilot the shuttlecraft, Captain?"
Yes, I think that would be appropriate.
I have a feeling it's going to be tricky getting out of the shuttle bay.
Yeah, where is this creature exactly? Is it near the shuttle
It's
bay?
up on our nacelle,
It's
sir.
it's literally on the port nacelle right now,
Yes.
and it's leaning against it. And its tail, again, it has a row of large fins lining it. I would say about 20 or so that are huge fins lining the sides of this animal, but it does have a whale-like tail in the back. Although where a whale-like tail is very wide, this one looks like it's actually more elongated.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Commander, after you assign that science team, if you would also like to join the away team to gather that orb.
Yes, I would, Captain.
Great.
So I do know Sundry is going to be involved in extracting that orb and
Oh.
the surrounding plant life. Will we need our surgeon,
An
or does
experienced
our
surgeon?
botanist have it?
I would like both
I would love to help.
to be present.
Oh
All
my
right,
god!
Doc.
I just realized another great way of explaining how large this creature is it's larger than Godzilla. Let's put it that way. Godzilla's about 380 feet tall.
According to the measurements of a blue whale on the internet, this thing is like 5 to 6 times bigger than
Could
a
swallow
blue
a
whale.
blue whale.
Wow.
Yes. It could eat a blue whale.
That's nuts.
Nurse Matasi, I need you to make a lot of observations.
I'm seeing this. You hear Matazi in the sick bay just going, I think this might be the largest biological aquatic creature that Starfleet has ever encountered.
It's amazing that they can sustain the ratio of mass at this scale, and that we've clearly got the suggestion of sexual reproduction, so write that down.
Yes, Doctor, right away. My goodness. You just hear Matazi's a little taken back.
Okay, people, let's not spend all day at the bottom of the ocean getting humped. Why don't you all get on that shuttlecraft? I'll stay here on the bridge, and let's get this orb and get back up to the surface, okay?
Lark's face is just kind of... Yes, Captain.
I lean over to Talon and say, humpback whale. And then I move on.
Talon just raises an eyebrow.
Damn, that's like a guffaw. That's like a hearty chuckle.
All right, so we're going to cut to the shuttle bay. Everyone's loading up. Go ahead and minus 1 momentum. So the shuttle bay doors are currently open. The force field is actually enabling you to look out into the deep, dark blue black of this abyssal plane. And you're able to see physically with your own eyes the bioluminescence that's lighting up this titanic creature that's currently rubbing up against the sides of the nacelle. I will say that Jiv, in the past 15 minutes, has been announcing their extreme displeasure with what's happening to his lady, and has also made it known that while the Sally Ride can withstand this kind of punishment, that the nacelles are not designed for a 680-ton creature to constantly be rubbing up against them. And that he's gonna request that once this whole encounter is over, that a full maintenance crew be allowed to spend at least an hour physically checking the nacelle to make
Okay,
sure everything
request
is okay.
granted. Sure thing, Jiff, you got it. Just make sure that everybody gets off of the ship in one piece.
Look, I'm all for new life, Captain. I am. Can we put a stun setting on the phaser array or something? Can we do that?
We can. We won't.
I'm so glad I didn't place bets on what the answer was going to be. All right, Jiv out. In the shuttle bay, it is a beautiful sight to see the lights of the shuttle bay, but beyond the dark ocean and this bioluminescent just like trail leading off into the dark blue ocean. And you can see in the black this shape of its tail that's constantly like swaying as it keeps it in place. This thing is now that you're physically seeing a third of its body, you're getting an idea of the immensity of this creature. It's bigger than Thordak, that's for sure. Big creature, very big. Not that it's a competition, Matt. I'm not saying like obviously.
Well, yeah, ours is nicer. Ours
It's
like
true.
this.
It would have to be. Like,
Yeah, yours is a lot friendlier.
A
So,
lot friendlier.
So,
I gotta ask, is there any sexual organs on this thing? How big are we talking?
I mean, if you want, I mean, scans would probably indicate that yes.
All right, then I'll just wait for the report later. It's fine.
I will
don't
say
embarrass
that
my
We don't
crew.
know that it's
The-
dimorphic. We
science
don't
team will have that
know
full-
We don't
if
know.
it is.
the sex would indicate that it is female.
Okay.
So I will say that. I will say that much. But it also it's going to require a big diagnostic.
I want to name her Stella.
Stella.
Yeah, because she's getting her groove back right now. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yes.
I asked for this.
Yes, you did.
You did.
I can't reprimand.
no one to blame but yourself.
Is that
Also,
maybe the
Miss 20
complication
right
you
here.
rolled. I could blame the complication.
Nice.
is
Very
this the
nice.
complication?
I rolled a sexy
This is
whale.
your GM
Complication?
This is your GM complication.
Oh my god!
It's a relationship status. It's
It's
complicated.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Marilyn
I'm glad we didn't
Monroe.
remove this complication.
Yeah.
But we, who remains on this alley ride, will go off and draw away from the orb,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Get a
So
room, if
you
will.
all get into the shuttle. What is the name of the shuttle?
The Abigail.
The USS Abigail, or rather, just the Abigail. Feeling a strange kinship with this shuttle.
Time today.
Yeah. So you guys all board the Abigail. Shuttle doors close as Lark just shakes her head as the lieutenant sits into the chair, and she's just like, so many firsts have happened since I joined the ship. This is going to be a big one. We're basically doing the walk of shame right now. That's Earth speak. It's when you. It's not appropriate, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry, Captain.
Mountain climbers don't feel shame, neither do divers.
I don't think I actually know that one. Mountain
A
climbers?
first, then.
Another. Okay. Yes, Commander.
These down. These are great.
So who's staying aboard the Sally ride?
I think it's
Just
the
me.
captain.
Okay.
Just me.
Wow.
And the whole crew. But
Following protocol? What? All right.
I'm sure there was a moment where I'm
Alright.
sure you don't want to come. We do know
It
how
is
you
a
love
weird-
to flaunt that particular regulation.
Today on Shield of Tomorrow, things get weird.
As far as Martinez is concerned,
Yes.
the objective is right there. We're just gonna go collect it. There's not a whole lot of opportunity for adventure. Do you know what I'm saying?
that's
It's
Ah,
fine.
I see.
It's fine.
Yes, you are not
Okay.
anticipating
Correct.
anything.
Correct.
Frollo's
Ooh.
like, what are you kidding?
Jeez,
Look,
Sage.
that one's completely different from that one.
Sage has definitely spent her points on control.
And that small craft focus is going to come in quite handy. isn't
I
it,
would say so.
Lieutenant?
All right, Sage. So piloting the shuttlecraft out right now with a little bit of vibrational movement from the Sally as she's getting kind of bucked here and there. I'm going to set the difficulty for this. Restrict information, altering subspace into. I'll set it at 2. This is not going to be that. This would not be that difficult to pilot the shuttlecraft out. Set the difficulty here at 2, and
And shuttles get a roll, don't they?
they do. I was just thinking that shuttles do get a roll, but I remember that they actually don't have a lot of system help with that.
They don't get
Unless they're like a Peregrine fighter or something like that. So actually, I think I have it bookmarked real quick. So let me just pull that up. If Filmy wants to roll assist for the shuttle, I'm not worried about Sage missing this roll. She has basically become
Am I assisting for shuttle?
the wedge of this
For Abigail.
group. If you want to, yeah.
It seems appropriate somehow.
I would love to.
It
assist
does
on
seem
the
rather
Abigail.
appropriate for you to help you to pilot the Abigail here. You to be the Abigail. Okay, where is the shuttle information?
I love your dice. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you so much. I do. I have to arrange them.
Are they doing well for you?
It has to.
I mean, yes. You know
When you
how
have
we
rainbow.
You know how we roll.
Sorry, give me 1 sec.
I rainbow roll.
I thought I had this pulled up and I don't.
And now I'm hungry.
Right?
Well, if you want fish.
Come on.
A little too raw, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
How long is this
Whale
whale gonna be in love with our ship?
I mean,
We have so little information about their cycles. I'm fascinated to see what particular episode, what it's attempting to do. I hope we're writing all of it down. Oh, is that not what you meant?
Oh no, that's actually exactly what I meant. this is a long mating ritual.
When is she gonna finish?
And also, it's just it's a lot of just nuzzling. It's really
Okay, so it's going to be 11.
Oh.
You need 11 is the skill, the combined skill for the Abigail on this.
No,
For
right.
the assist. And Bonnie in Lieutenant Lark Sage. Here we go. Difficulty
Lieutenant
is 2.
Sage.
Lieutenant Sage, thank you.
Oh, that is it.
For repping. Thank you for
We
repping.
miss you.
Oh, we miss you.
Okay. Difficulty is 2. What'd you get? 1. Sorry, Bonnie, but that was very close. You succeed
Then we all
with the help of
died.
the Abigail.
Crash.
So
Good
as
luck,
y'all are
Captain
leaving,
Martinez.
so the Abigail takes, and the tractor beam begins to escort the Abigail out. And as soon as you guys hit the force field, the tractor beam, you see Lark reach over and manually deactivate the tractor beam because she's going to need to maneuver to get out of this thing. She can't just go on autopilot out. She manually deactivates the tractor beam, and as the Abigail is pulling out, right as y'all are pulling out, this creature, once again, just a slight movement from its immense body causes a buck at the ship, and you watch the hangar kind of shift a little bit, but Lark is all over it, anticipating the movements. You also notice that not only does she have like a flight plan in front of her on the screen, but Lark isn't looking at it at all. She's watching out the window at the creature, and you see the moment that creature bumps into the ship, she immediately shifts the Abigail, so you watch visually as nothing seems to change from your point of view, only the world shifts a little bit, and she guides you all right out of the shuttle bay.
Bless you.
The shuttle immediately, as you guys exit the shuttle bay, adapting to the environment, shuttlecrafts have a little bit trickier of a time at this depth, but it adapts immediately as the pressure outside, the tonnage starts coming down on the shuttle, and you hear a bit of a creaking, and she just goes, "Structural integrity is holding, Captain. We're in the clear."
All right.
The shuttle is very sluggish, however, to maneuver down here. It is not really designed for easy, so it just kind of
It's a sea slug.
yes. It can maneuver underwater, but it's you see Lark just shaking her head as she's like.
It's only 600
It's like
feet
flying
away.
a shuttle that's wrapped in a sock and is being slung around. It's like other things that I can't describe that suck. And you watch as she maneuvers the shuttle, and thrusters on the side of the ship kind of bring it into a holding pattern finally. But she looks really irritated. And you just hear her mumbling Mala. She's like, "I like space so much more than this."
New rank, new challenges.
Yes, Commander. And Mala, she kind of just and begins to slowly take you guys in.
I'm also
You'll-
thinking of the last time we were deep underwater, so if there is a good opportunity, I'm just going to drop a hand on her shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're quite
good
close.
call.
And the claustrophobia. Well, that's what
Do you have I would say make a presence command roll.
Cool.
Yes. We'll set the difficulty here at 1.
That's good. My presence command is not good.
Would you like a momentum for that, Doctor?
I can. I won't have reroll, but
I can assist by also putting my hand on Sage's shoulder.
Let's make a
I
chain
am
of
close
hands,
and I
This is
feel
everyone.
becoming
her
the life
spiking.
aquatic, and everyone just reaching over and putting their hand on.
I don't think I
but
took the
that's
thing
such a
that lets me
beautiful
use
second.
medicine
I know.
instead of command, but
Oh my
it just
God.
occurs to me that this is the situation that's probably for.
It is quite precisely.
I am totally picturing right now. I am totally picturing like a Wes Anderson scene, life aquatic style of the Sally Ride crew in
Get
the
the fan
shuttle.
art.
Yes, well, can we all have beanies?
Yes, red hats.
Can I have Holden with the beanie?
Yes.
Okay, sorry,
that.
what?
Oh, anyway.
yeah.
All right, so go ahead and make your roll. Difficulty is 1.
Okay, I did take one. Thank
No,
you.
absolutely. It's a roll.
ahead,
that's
one.
fun
My
to
target
win.
number's 10,
to 4.
so
Am I actually assisting? No, right?
No.
did you 1?
Did you offend her? Okay. Cool. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and give. How much momentum did you spend on that?
Yeah, I just took one for an extra die. Yeah.
Did you gain any? So I'll go ahead and give you that momentum back.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And the effect will be a narrative change, since you successfully did that. But you see the anxiety kind of drain out of Lark as you put your hand on her shoulder, and there's a sense of relief, and you would sense this immediately, Mala. There's a sense of relief that you just see in her body language, Throllo.
I look
Apparently,
at the
that was the source of her anxiety. And you acknowledging it, you see her kind of relax a little bit at the controls.
Please let go.
Again, you're getting a good look at the Sally ride. Running lights are high right now, so you can see her hull. She's looking pretty with that new armor on. And you kind of go over the top of the saucer section, moving over the bridge of the Sally ride, and you see, of course, the registry number, the USS Sally Ride, the ship that's taking you so many places. You also see this creature, and it is a starship scale creature that's rubbing up against the Sally Ride, and it's hard to say, but you think some of the eyes have noticed the glowing shuttlecraft that's moved over the top of the saucer section.
I was afraid of this. I didn't want to say it.
It doesn't. It
Who wants to
doesn't.
get eaten by a whale?
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Here come the jokes.
It's not gonna happen.
good story comes from that.
I was gonna say I've thrown bigger whales at y'all. So, but it doesn't look like this creature, this aquatic creature, doesn't look like it takes any particular interest. As it sees y'all kind of move over, you do see the whites of the eyes as some of these eyes angle up in your direction while others are taking in what's around it.
Oh my god.
It looks, as you're on the outside of this thing, you're getting a better view of it from what the view screen was able to give you. You can actually see that the front of its snout area does actually more closely resemble crocodilian than it does whale. It does have long spaces between huge, jagged, serrated, pointed teeth. But again, towards the back, it looks like this strange sort of overlap of large molars. There's a single tooth like stretching hundreds of feet down the back of its jaw. It's a strange biological evolution. In other words, this looks completely alien to something you've seen before. Yet another exciting addition to the catalog of alien creatures you've come across.
To clarify, Amy is terrified. Frollo is enthralled.
Yeah.
Same.
Mala is
Yes.
embarrassed.
Perhaps we could overlay an infrared view so that we can cut the running lights and perhaps diminish
Absolutely.
any potential interest.
Yes.
You absolutely could do that. You'd have to kill running lights on the Sally ride, or at least go to low power mode if you were trying to kill all the lights. And
Oh,
go...
do you mean
I just want for the shuttle.
Oh, you mean the shuttle? Oh, okay. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we don't look like, an after whatever brunch.
So Sage is just Sage says,
dessert.
"Okay, let me power off the running lights on the outside, Commander." And you see the water column in front of you, and all these strange fish just swimming out in front of the lights as she's maneuvering through, and then just shuts down.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
And the lights in the shuttle dim considerably. She's like, "There's not much I can do about our nacelles, but I can dim them to the point where I don't think it'll attract attention."
Perfect.
Just a little mood lighting.
I don't think there's any trouble getting in the mood.
Yeah, any changes to mood that I should write down?
Nope.
So once you guys leave the vicinity of the Sally ride, you do see the great sort of gray abyssal plain in front of you. But what's crazy is much like getting out of the city trying to find starlight, as you move out of the aura of the running lights of the Sally ride, the ocean comes to life with bioluminescence. And you see a living universe in front of you outside the windows of dancing spheres and orbs of bioluminescence blues and deep greens bouncing all around. It almost looks like a star field. If you could imagine a star field as a school of fish just swimming in bizarre patterns. A huge ancient ecosystem that has never been seen before, dancing outside of the running lights. Lark is completely missing it as she's completely focused on what the computer readout is telling her in front of her since she no longer has visual. But with the dim light of the shuttlecraft, it's quite beautiful and haunting. It would be akin to being inside of a planetarium when all the lights go down and you see the stars just above you. Think of it like that. And for a moment, you all kind of get lost. This is what it is to be explorers. A few moments pass, and you can still hear the distant song of this ancient sea creature bumping up against the Sally ride. The reverberations out here are thundering. Just it sounds, if you've ever heard blue whale song, I highly recommend you check it out on YouTube. It's incredible. A blue whale singing in Hawaii can be heard by a blue whale off the coast of Los Angeles.
What?
That's how powerful their song is.
What?
Yep. because sound travels easier underwater. Blue whales can communicate over distances that are extraordinary. And you hear this
Boy, we're calling
low,
a lot of people then.
like, like this deep bass. Every now and then kind of peaks out and reverberating through the shuttle. And you see a distant star that at first you mistook for maybe brilliant bioluminescence, but in fact is the Orb of Journeys.
Stellar by
And-
starlight.
Talon, spotting it and approaching it, you immediately begin to feel it and its presence there. And Sage at the controls, she looks up and kind of glances up at you for a second. It's that vague, but it's like if you closed your eyes, you might be able to navigate the entire shuttle right to where it is. You just know it's there. It's an awareness of its presence.
Are we heading towards it?
Few minutes later, and the shuttle approaches and sets down.
Put on our suits.
So, Trek has never really explored how environmental suits hold up to walking on the ocean floor 40 miles below the surface.
True.
There's a lot to be said for that being something that would strain what these environmental suits can do in terms of protecting y'all from the sheer water pressure. However, I'm of the mind that Starfleet, especially when it comes to explorers, have ways to compensate for this kind of exploration when transporters are not available. So, I'm going to rule, if you guys are willing to burn a momentum for me just to make this a little more fair, but I'm going to go ahead and rule narratively that your suits have actually been modified with a plating across the top of it that uses gravitonic technology to actually help equalize the water displacement around you, to the point where it's gonna be slow moving, but so long as your power systems are active on your suits, it will completely protect you from the tonnage that's going to be weighing down on you the moment you step out into the water column.
I love it.
Great.
Yeah.
I would love to go into the replicator database
Okay.
for deep sea exploration suit for something that might have a little more movement to it.
I would say
Like
that
give it a trait.
So the Starfleet Corps of Engineers, they have, so as you this has been mentioned in Star Trek: The Next Generation. There have been colonies that have been established at the floors of the Pacific Ocean by now, and so they're used to this kind of exploration. It's not that big of a modification. So
This is your. You worked with those, I'm sure, when you were out in Hawaii, wasn't it?
Yes. That's
So
right.
it's not that big of a stretch of the imagination that you can find something that's going to allow you to maneuver pretty freely. But it's going to have to answer to the same code of physics that stops people from moving quickly when they're in deep space. So I'm going to rule that you'll be able, like Rue, for you for example, it's not going to be a problem. It won't be a problem. But you're not going to be, it's not like a ring of free movement. You're not going to be able to just like run across the bottom, so to speak. It's still going to be the tonnage, the water pressure, the displacement of the water. It's still going to be a little. It's going to hinder your movement somewhat. Pretty much no matter what you do.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, so Sage goes. So here's the catch. I'm going to have to beam us all off the shuttle. So we're going to have to beam into the water column, and then. Because if I open the shuttle doors, the shuttle will flood because we don't have...
An airlock?
What's that?
Airlock?
You do have an airlock on the shuttle, but she's like, the problem is that...
Will it compromise the pressure?
Structural integrity.
not necessarily. Actually, the shuttles are designed to withstand that kind of thing. You could technically open a shuttle in the vacuum and it would be fine. It's, Jiv kind of didn't want me to tell you guys this, but the Abigail hasn't been maintenanced in a while.
What?
That's what he told me. I don't know the whole story.
I believe it would have been much more helpful to learn that information before we left.
Lark says, "Oh, for sure, but I thought beaming was more convenient anyway, if that's okay."
Chief, I understand you have a certain insubordinate practice of chewing out our chief engineer. Once you return, I would like you to engage most vociferously in that practice.
Gladly.
Thank you kindly. All right, well, beaming it is.
It's a beautiful shuttle.
The good news is that the beaming is easy.
Will we need you to stay aboard the Abigail to return us?
No, Shiv will beam us.
Okay.
Is the plan.
All right.
All right.
Lieutenant Sage to Commander Shiv. Yeah, this is Shiv. Y'all ready? Yes, Commander. All right. Who wants to go first?
All right.
How about me?
Okay. You hear it back on the comms.
Since this hasn't been maintained in a while.
None of the shuttles have. How'd you break it to him, Lark? And Lieutenant just goes, I basically just told them.
Molly, you can feel.
Mm-hmm.
Not see.
There's
No.
I feel.
That's the same feeling.
Yeah.
There's
You'll
an
have to get right on that, Commander.
Sure. Now that I'm done refitting the entire ship, I can do that.
Yeah, it's almost like I offered for help or something. Nothing. I'm ready. Are you ready? Now that you got nothing going on, you ready? You ready to beam me?
Hold on a sec. We're detecting large amounts of SAS in the transporter cycle. I gotta get
Yeah,
it
sorry
out.
about that. There's nothing that can be done. You're just gonna have to beam around it.
Martinez to Abigail. Can we pull back on the banter just a little bit and
Sorry,
start
Captain.
collecting that orb? Thank you so much.
Shiv just goes, yes, sir. Sorry,
Sir, I'm afraid we're at absolutely minimal levels of banter. We cannot go any lower than this at this time.
I can
Well,
beam
that's-
2 of y'all out at the time.
It's the best I can ask for,
I will go.
Commander. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all environmental suited up and bubbles immediately begin to form around all of you as the water is displaced, and y'all beam straight into the water column and just. And y'all are at the bottom of the ocean. Immediately you feel the tech in your suits immediately compensate, and so there's a split second where you're just. You feel a little bit of that heaviness, but it's not uncomfortable. You just feel it for a second, and then you're fine. I will say this. You are surrounded by the blackened abyss of an ancient sea. You're at the bottom. It is just black darkness. Aside from that beacon of light, it is the abyss.
It's strange that this is way more uncomfortable than a spacewalk.
Is
Why is
strange.
that?
Perhaps we have done more spacewalks than walks underneath the ocean.
Who wants to go next?
True.
2 more to beam out, so it's the last 2. Sage goes, with your permission, Commander, I should probably wait in the shuttle in case somebody needs to be at the controls.
Sounds like a plan, Sage.
Thank you, Commander. All right, so Throlo and Talon. So,
I'm already out.
What's that?
Throw and Rue.
Shall we, Doctor?
So you all beam out, and essentially every time you beam into the water column, you beam in with like an eruption of bubbles all around you, just as the beam just, and you're all in the water column now, surrounded by the darkness.
I'm a little I'm a little taken aback because I don't like oceans. I like ocean life, but I don't like oceans because I grew up in caves, and like anything where you can see forever just kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
But I like so I was sort of bracing myself. I like the shuttle, fine. But I think maybe I feel okay because it's actually a lot more like being underground than it is like being on endless vista of anything.
Well, curiously enough, too, you watch as soon as y'all beam into the water column, the data display that comes up on your helmet, just, you read it immediately. The precipitous drop in temperature is astounding, and it just drops down way below freezing.
Rue
Yeah.
immediately takes off from the ocean floor and starts swimming.
You watch. There's sort of like this repulse effect as Rue. And it fighting against the tonnage of water pressure. Rue actually repels off the bottom of the ocean floor, and There's this kind of a wave effect following them, and then it's almost like moonwalking. So swim, moonwalk. But y'all are about 80 feet away from the orb.
They're always so much better at this than us.
Probably the only time you've seen me hanging around without my crutches and moving.
Yeah.
Because swimming.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
let's go check out some coral life.
All right.
Can we have asked Matazi, and maybe even with the help of Lieutenant Baker's mapping skills, to create us some type of map, I guess, of this coral's like roots and things.
A layout of the
Yeah.
least invasive way
You
to
would
get there.
absolutely
Yeah.
have that
Okay.
already.
All right,
The Sally
right, yeah.
Ride scan would have given you everything.
Okay, great. So we
Yeah.
have that on our,
Match it up to our tricorder.
yeah,
scans
so that
as
we have
go.
access.
Now, the coral can be beamed on board the ship. So you can create an artificial environment for the coral to survive if you wanted to transplant it. It's the orb that you can't get.
So we'll extract the orb
Yeah,
and
yeah.
beam the coral.
That's what I'll be working on.
Yeah, Jiv is going to need your help to modify
yeah.
to beam that much coral in without harming it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, great.
Are we gonna have to build tanks of water on the ship to hold the coral?
there'd be whales here.
Scotty's on board. Scotty, how did you get on the ship? You've been here the whole time?
Why, do you need a tanks built on board your starship, Captain?
Well, yes. Get up here. Get up here to the bridge right now.
Right now. Please, give me this opportunity as captain to say, Scotty, I need full power, please, for the love of God. All right, so you guys make your way over to this coral at the bottom of this ocean. Now, not to beat a dead horse, but outside, that whale song, that biological song is really powerful. And as that thing's humming, you can feel it rattling your bones. It's the reverberations in the sea life. This thing is probably being heard for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. Moving over to the coral, though, you see the coral reacts as you approach, and some of these tentacles come out like it's waiting for food. It's not hostile, but it's like anemones kind of responding to like a feeding. So some of the coral's just kind of comes out, and it's a beautiful blossom, a strange array of color. Down here at the bottom, colors manifest differently because only certain colors will make it this deep into the light column. So some of these corals, which would normally be invisible, are matching a color scheme that actually keeps them quite camouflaged this deep into the water column. So they're actually striking, and the bioluminescence comes off the tips of their tentacles, and they kind of wave back and forth. But the moment your lights from your suit hit them, they go right back in as they're detecting the light is moving. They kind of, and you approach, and sure enough, there's the Bajoran orb right in front of you. It's kind of on the incline. It's about, you're gonna have to climb up onto the coral to get to it. It's about 30 to 45 feet up. And it's kind of lodged at an angle inside.
What's my
Every
fitness?
diver's instinct I've ever had
Yeah, you don't touch the coral.
hates that
Yeah.
so much.
You don't touch the coral because A, it harms the coral, and B,
It's
It harms you.
hurts.
It harms
it harms you.
Can we swim up there though?
The suits
We
will let
should
you
have
swim
the
up there,
little,
and you can get
magics.
a neutral buoyancy with the suit to actually stay put.
you
So you
have
wouldn't
ACV.
have to. You don't have to climb it like a ladder.
Okay.
But
buoyancy
I'm going to
control
tell you now, it's going to be a roll, and it's going to be a little tricky
To swim up there?
to swim up there, but also to reach the neutral buoyancy and find get in a center spot where you're not moving, and then dislodge it.
We do have an expert swimmer here.
Okay, Brew isn't an expert swimmer.
You're an expert at everything.
Yeah, and you're definitely more expert than we are.
Brew does do. It's one of okay. Brew swims less than I do, but more than
Mala,
More than
as
us.
as this conversation is happening, you're just watching them, and you feel something staring at you out of the corner of your eye.
Oh goodness.
You kind of just turn and look. There is a large fish-like creature about the size of a full-grown sea bass, so it's rather huge.
Okay.
I don't. What? How big is a
how
full
big
It looks like
bass?
I should say it's a grouper, about the size of a grouper, a full-grown grouper. Do you guys
big
know what
is
those
that?
are?
What?
How big's it?
A what?
Grouper love being petted. They will actually roll over and just like want pets.
Groupers are very dopey, large.
3 feet, 6 feet, 50 feet.
What's
Yeah,
that?
how
3
many
feet,
feet?
how many feet? 50 feet.
So let me give you I would say it is about the size of you.
Oh.
Giant grouper.
That's a big fish.
It is a giant grouper-like styled fish. Most of its scales are translucent, allowing you to actually see into its anatomy.
What?
Where you see bioluminescence kind of flickering off and on. This thing's eyes, however, are quite solid, and its mouth is gaping open, and it swims right up to you.
Teeth? Are we talking teeth?
No
What's
teeth.
the mouth?
No teeth.
No teeth.
Just swallowing.
Kind of like
human.
gulping. It looks like it's just gulping water, and it just swims right up to the light that's shining off the side of your shoulder of your suit, and it's staring at you. It just literally just hovers in the water column, staring at you. This thing out of water probably weighs close to 800 pounds. It is huge, girthy, see-through grouper-like styled fish with big, bulbous, dopey-looking eyes, just kind of staring at you. Unlike the way its mouth is gaping open, almost looks like it's going, like it has this sort of like stupid, cute look on its face.
Does it feel threatening?
Kind of like a
Does it
grouper.
feel like spooked or anything by
You're
me?
not. It's interesting. So animal level intelligence, you are able to get an emotional sort of like
Yeah, like just like is
surface
it
read.
spooked?
No, it is.
Does it feel me as a
Don't.
predator?
So like most fish do, because as somebody who volunteered at the aquarium, I can tell you that one of the biggest things that stop fish from eating other things. Does it fit in my mouth? Is kind of how it goes with fish.
Yeah.
If it's too big and it doesn't fit, then we don't eat it. It's why you see some predatorial fish swimming around with other fish that it should be attacking.
I just slowly start making my body look bigger by raising my arms very slowly above my head.
So the feeling you're getting off the top of its at the sensor at the emotional level is that it's just pure curiosity.
Yeah, it's just I'm glowing, I'm moving.
Does
Check
it? Yeah. It looks like it's really drawn to the light, but as you get yourself bigger, it kind of jerks its head away and eyes you a little bit as it begins to
I freeze.
swim. It kind of begins to sort of like swim a little bit away from you, but at this point it's not as brave to look straight at you and get up close, and it kind of just jerks away and eyeballs you a little bit. Kind of gives you a little bit of side eye.
I'm sorry I offended you. Sorry,
And
little
you
buddy.
watch as it begins to swim back off into the deep, but you see that flowing bioluminescence.
Did we see it?
I think
Luminescent.
yeah, I think everybody. Yeah, I would say Mulder
We probably
calls
just
out.
like saw the movement too of like this.
Sure.
Look at it. It's so weird.
Scans for later.
Oh yeah.
You've got to so for these kinds of expeditions, I always like. This is just maybe my version of Trek, or maybe I pull a lot of Star Trek Online stuff. But I just like the envision that in environments where it's not as a powerful form of a tricorder, but it's a much more localized version of a tricorder that's built into your suit that allows you to
So
scan.
you don't have to.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have to have a handheld scanning device. Yeah. So quick scan. I won't even have you roll for it. It is essentially it's a large fish.
That's so cool.
It is a large fish-like creature. Has many of the same. It looks like it uses gills and everything to breathe in the water.
How much stuff do I feel around me besides the coral? Because I imagine that's just a general.
It's kind of a
alive
muted
feeling.
It's a muted background, sort of static. I would say it's like an ambient.
just
it's-
everywhere.
Imagine what it feels like to be on the Sally Ride every
Because
single
just
day.
because the orb is clearly beaconing to a lot of life, so just like how much?
It's impossible to say. As an empath,
Yeah.
as somebody who's only able to, as a betazoid that is only able to surface feel like emotions from around you, you cannot get a lock per se.
Yeah, but I've been
You
practicing.
can, you have to
I've been practicing.
you can focus on like you did on the fish just now.
Yeah.
You can focus when you see and you get an idea.
Yeah.
But it's like being on the Sally Ride.
Right.
You're constantly surrounded by life on the
Constant,
Sally Ride.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
all right. So we, as this is all happening, you guys real quick have to solve the problem of floating up and getting the orb.
Okay.
My medkit has a laser scalpel. I don't know if that's going to be up to the job.
Yes, I'll answer that for you. Your laser scalpel is the ideal device to use to dislodge it because it's going to be the least damaging to the coral, and easy to repair. Like some of the medical technologies that you have could be used to repair any damages that are done. Because this is a biological creature, you can use very similar
Splice
technique.
the orb casing out of the coral.
Yeah, it's grown. So for the past 2,000 years, it's been grown into the coral.
Wow. Okay.
Talon, is there orb etiquette I should be aware of? Do you know?
I do not know. I'm not sure. I think perhaps the orb will tell me if there is.
Okay.
We're gonna cut back to the bridge real quick. Lieutenant Baker, who's at the science station, she goes, Oh no. Captain,
Yes, Lieutenant?
there's another one, sir.
Another what? Another Stella?
Yes, sir. Another Stella.
Stanley.
I'm reading it's about 20 kilometers away, but it is headed
Blanche.
towards us. Maybe attracted to by the song of the other.
Of course. Yeah, now it's an orgy.
goodness.
Great.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Martinez is addressing the ensign that replaced Lieutenant Sage
Okay.
at the helm.
Damn it! I don't have my ops crew.
No.
Wait,
Kim?
I'm gonna look. Keep
No,
talking.
Hart.
Ensign-
Hart's a lieutenant now.
Is it Lieutenant Hart
Hart.
at the helm?
Oh yeah, that's right. Hart.
Lieutenant,
Hart would be, sir.
get us out of here nice and quietly. We're trying to lead Stella away from here. And if we get another visitor, then we get another visitor. But go ahead and start banking us off to port.
Aye, Captain. You gonna alert the away team?
Yes, I was about to do that. Yes, Martinez to away team.
Aye, sir.
It seems we've got another incoming Stella, possibly joining the party. We're going to go ahead and move the Sally Ride away from this area. It's fine, Chief. We've got it under control. There's no reason to go, oh no. We're going to move the ship away. We'll be checking in with you, but we're going to go ahead and try to take the party away from you.
Thank
Safe,
you.
sir.
Tell Matassi to write everything down.
Always safe. Yep, he is scribbling furiously, Doctor. Thank you. Martinez out.
Okay. So, the Sally Ride, the landing just begins to power up again, and
And our shields are up this whole time, right? So
Yeah,
Yes.
we're red
Yeah,
alert.
we're red
so-
alert.
yeah. So in truth, one of the reasons why there's not really cause to be
Right.
too alarmed about the nacelles is they are shielded right now.
right. Yeah, Jiv. Calm down, buddy.
So, but you, as y'all, Ensign Hart begins to take it. Oh, is it Lieutenant? Is she still Ensign? Yeah.
Lieutenant
Ensign-
Hart.
Lieutenant Hart.
Lieutenant Hart. Okay, Lieutenant Hart begins to take the Sally Ride up off the floor, and you hear as this creature reacts to the Sally beginning to move, and you all, as you're in the water column, you hear, and you see the plume of sand as the Sally Ride's lights are slightly obfuscated by this huge disturbance in the water, as this creature and the Sally begin to move in tandem. Sally begins to pull away. Hart begins to maneuver away from the creature using the repulsor, and the creature matches. And just the Sally Ride shakes again as this creature kind of nudges up against the side.
We're reciprocating.
There's definitely an increased amount of excitement taking place. So as the Sally begins
far
to
enough away.
move, the Sally begins to move away. I'm gonna have Ensign Hart make Lieutenant Hart. Sorry, I keep demoting you. Lieutenant Hart is going to make a roll, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I apologize because I don't have my stats, but I do have stats for a skilled lieutenant. Here we go. Okay. Difficulty. I'm gonna set the difficulty here at 3,
Ooh. Do we need a
and I'm gonna.
assist or captain's directive?
Someone's
or
gonna.
something?
Sally Ride will get an assist on that, but I'm gonna burn 2 momentum because this is threat because this is an excellent excuse to raise complication ranges.
Oh goodness.
All right, so Sally's going to assist.
Well, we live on the ocean floor now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I better be building my home now. So
What's
Sally.
Sally roll?
Sally is actually gonna roll structure and con.
Structure con?
Yep.
Okay.
And here we go. Ensign Hart. Oh yeah. That's a complication.
Ugh.
What'd you get?
Sally got one.
She got one?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys fail. Failure with the complications.
What just happened, Lieutenant Hart? What's going on?
She starts taking. So the Sally Ride starts maneuvering. This creature gets agitated suddenly,
Stella.
and
Stella.
Uh-oh. She's starting to feel rejected.
it whips. You see this creature just kind of jerk, as a creature that's 500 feet long can jerk. Suddenly lurches to the side. The darkness of this creature in the running lights. You can see this huge column of blackness that is this creature with the bioluminescent lines. Suddenly, I mean, it must be. If you can imagine what a 50-story building suddenly jerking to its left must be like as this thing kind of jerks to the side, and you all watch the Sally get. You see the shields of the Sally light up the way they do when you throw something against a force field, and it's you see the whole ship rock suddenly. I'm going to.
Are you rolling for Stella?
Stella. I'm trying to. I'm not rolling for Stella. I'm rolling to see how much structural. I'm rolling to see what's happened to the Sally Ride shields. So the Sally Ride takes 4 points of damage to her shields.
Is that modified by any resistance?
Resistance does kick in even with the shields up. So what's your resistance?
It's scale plus
Because you
2.
got a
so
blade
that
of
should be
armor
6
now.
Yeah.
What is it?
Our total resistance is 6.
Fucking hell, you guys got a resistance that's comparable to a galaxy class. That's
Yep.
crazy.
So did we brush off this?
You brushed it off.
Okay, great.
Sally Ride
Okay.
completely resists the impact of this creature.
Okay.
So, however,
That armor!
Ensign goes, oh, okay. I've got it. We're good. Sally Ride gets punched by this creature's body, just kind of banking into it. You guys all rattle for a second, and you can feel irritation suddenly.
You know what, Stella?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Stella?
Back off.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not into
Yes,
it.
I agree.
Respect.
Kamala,
Yeah.
Consent.
you suspect that the irritation isn't coming from. It doesn't seem. I'll give you this.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem the irritation doesn't seem to be coming from the Sally Ride's movement. This female seems to be aware that there's another female coming.
Oh.
Blanche, we're gonna call it.
Yeah, but
Blanche.
Boy.
where's Stanley?
This is becoming the biggest knockoff of the Golden Girls. Like, let's make it Blanche. We'll rename Stella Rose.
Yeah, we'll be Rose.
Okay, so
Captain, it's looking like we're the hottest thing down here, and she's about to defend her prize.
it's giving you an idea of what the mating cycles of the species is like. Apparently, the female's laying claim to the males in the species.
Yep.
And she's getting really territorial
Yep.
as this other female is closing in.
Fascinating.
I'm sort of falling sideways in the heavy pressure of the water.
Stella's getting jealous, Captain.
In keeping
We're all
with Sally.
Sally.
I love this.
It's true.
Space is gay.
This is gay.
And space is gay. So as this message is being relayed, you all see the distant shape of an incoming creature, and you see Lieutenant Baker just goes, "Oh wow, Captain, this one's much bigger." And she puts it up on screen. This female that comes up on screen gives you a tactical readout.
Blanche.
This creature reaches up to about 900 feet in length.
Oh my gosh. Again, a blue whale is like 80 feet.
This thing is one of the largest biological creatures ever scanned by the Sally Ride. If it's one of the largest in the Federation database at this point. And as it's approaching,
Journeys who?
you can already see that this creature has colonies of life living on the surface of its body.
That's
It has its own coral organic system that's grown around it. Teams of fish and other ecosystems have grown on the back of this great creature as it's closing in on the Sally Ride.
Just transport the
It is
coral
moving.
onto them.
It is. I will give you this. It is, however, moving incredibly slow. Unfortunately, the Sally Ride has an important update pending. Oh no! And all
Not
the
now.
systems
I would
go.
never know.
Shiv!
Yeah, important.
I'm sorry,
Blanche is
Commander.
coming.
We're
Why
running
did
on
we
Windows
switch to
10, Captain. I don't know what to say.
Updating now? Commander,
Your
updating
screen's
now?
10.
It just
really
goes
wanna
restart
send it-
later, and the blue screen goes away.
A joint Federation Strethian research team
I
here
know.
to like.
Yes.
And as this creature begins to pick up speed, we have to pause because we have to go to break. We're at 5:30.
It's about to be Godzilla versus King Kong down
Oh,
here.
this is amazing.
I don't
Yeah.
think that one.
Let them.
This Blanche is taller than Godzilla, any version of Godzilla, even the Gareth Edwards 2014 version, and it's almost as tall as the Empire State Building, which is 1,250 feet.
I don't think it's taller than Shin Godzilla, though. I think no. I'm thinking Planet Godzilla. That one is outstandingly huge.
Planet Godzilla? I gotta
That's
look
on
this up.
Netflix. Look it up.
I gotta look up
Planet
Planet Godzilla.
The size of Planet Godzilla is ridiculous.
How have we been
it
talking
a
about
planet?
this many macrofauna and never once said that they are
massive.
I've been
I've been dodging it, but you know what? I'm reclaiming massive, damn it.
claim it.
So we're going to go on a quick 10-minute break. Get back here because the next part of the game is actually going to be uncovering the orb, and I've been told that there might be some interactions between crew members that is long overdue. So
Do you have seen Hector?
I've heard there's an agenda. I'm curious to find out what that is as your
Always
GM.
an engagement.
All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you back here. See you back here then. And we're coming back to a big apology. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Shield of Tomorrow. I'm apologizing to Caitlin because apparently, apparently Caitlin, I'm giving poor KB Tibbs is probably awkwardly going, no, guys, it's not me. I didn't draw that amazing piece of art. That was Caitlin at KK Amber.
Oh!
Amabur. Sorry.
That Caitlin.
AMABR. So that Caitlin, yeah. Sorry, Caitlin.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous.
It's because we saw the KK and we were like, oh, okay, it's KK, it's KB Tibbs.
But also, KB Tibbs, step up your art game, okay?
Jeez,
Okay.
KB Tibbs.
Have you seen those portraits, though? You do not talk smack about Katie
Now
Tibbs.
we
Thank
need-
you kindly.
We need all this kind of art from everybody. No, just kidding. No, just
It's
kidding.
amazing that, like, we have people who are doing this much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Y'all see Stupid Sexy Zazaret? Did y'all see that? In the works?
What? Is there more? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
I
This is
will.
what we do now.
Someone made me one for my birthday that I saw this one.
Yes, it's so cute.
We'll have to share it all.
Oh, goodness.
So,
Big heart squish.
so as we jump back into the game, real quick, our friend Tino Stark actually made Gina her rank.
Excellent.
Hey,
Gina, you got your pins together.
Yeah, and it's magnetic and everything. This thing, I'm gonna go over here and give this to you.
Thank you,
This
Gina.
is great.
Thank you so
Because they
much.
don't make these.
It's true.
That's so
Thank you. Yeah, come on. Enlisted are like the
it's got-
freaking
and it's got,
backbone
Yeah.
Epic magnet.
and like half the
He made the one that I
musculature.
was wearing last time too, but that was made of foam, and it immediately
Fell
got
apart.
lost. So I've been
It's cool.
toothless.
Because we need to represent. So for everybody,
That way.
so
This way?
to address this real quick,
Wait, yeah.
for everybody who is like, wait a minute, if she's enlisted, then she would need like 20 plus years. That's all very true, but it's also we need more enlisted people. We need more. We need to.
Also, I'm just talented for my age.
I was gonna
That's
say.
right.
So Chief Mom
Also,
Ren.
I made friends with higher ups. It gets you places.
That's true.
Also, we have no textual evidence that I'm aware of that time and rank works the way that it works now
Correct.
in our existing
It's
institution.
different in Star Trek. It's different.
Let's just go from that
desk that I did when we started this game to be like, and what is the exact rate of there is no okay.
Yeah, so my take as a GM is that it's the 24th century in a make-believe universe where we fly starships among the stars and encounter whales at the bottom of alien oceans.
We are promoted at the speed of narrative
you're a chief.
convenience.
Score.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Guys, check the.
Officially.
Oh, yeah, is it up in chat? Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
All right.
You see this?
Don't you check your phones now.
I'm
But
talking.
No. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna check anyway.
He's looking real good. Zazaret's looking real good, though.
Oh my god.
Like to be alone with Zazaret for a minute, guys.
What?
Alone is mandatory.
Okay, all right, now we can move on.
Thank you, Captain Thirst.
That's gonna be.
I don't want to move on, but also
Captain Thirsty.
That's gonna be in color. Cannot wait.
you were already getting that.
Yeah.
It's just a whole day of hope.
Zazaret is like,
There's
yeah.
oh
Zazaret, I think he's gonna audition for Chippendales.
yeah. I'm digging the
Wow.
the waist.
Yeah, corset.
The waist.
He's wearing a waist trainer.
trainer.
Yeah.
This is devolving into Wash's
sorry.
description of his wife. Actually, that whole area.
Whole area. And the other side. Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump back into the game tonight, everybody.
Stupid, sexy Zazaret. All right.
Yeah. Which, by the way, quick,
Liking
you
the
can
other ones
encounter on
now.
DS9 and the upcoming, on Star
He'd
Trek
be
Online.
so happy that he just distracted us in the middle of a crucial mission at the bottom
Yeah.
of an ocean thousands of miles away.
Yeah, as the Sally Ride is exploding in the background, all of y'all are on your
picture of me.
tricorders, like linking up to the internet, going, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
If encounters with Stella are what cause Sally to explode,
This would
that's
be the-
awful, but also what a way to go.
Yeah, the dumbest,
What a way to
most
go.
awesome way to die.
So, working in your favor right now is this incoming life form is moving incredibly slow, and even though it's picked up speed, It's probably got another 30 minutes before it arrives.
Okay.
However, that gives you just enough time, really, and a little breathing room to get this thing extracted and get the hell out of here before it arrives. So, we start back with our crew at the bottom of this ocean. We are going to make a quick roll because you guys are trying to achieve 0 buoyancy, so you can dislodge the orb from the coral. So let's go ahead and have it. You're taking lead on this, yeah?
Guess so.
Okay, so, and not to get into, I don't want to get roll heavy here. I'm just going to say that you take your time getting neutral in the water. And as you are situating yourself, sort of your suit constantly compensating for the motion of the water. It's very still down here. But because you are floating freely, your suit is constantly compensating for any kind of movements. You are going to be. I'm going to increase the difficulty of this operation. I'm not going to have it be an extended task per se, even though this is a perfect opportunity for a timed extended task. But really, this is going to be this whole operation is probably going to take you a total of maybe 5 minutes. So I don't think that's enough to, because 30 minutes away, 5 minutes to do it, not really. So I'm just going to increase the difficulty on you and make this tricky. You've got your scalpels out. You've got your medical procedures. Rue, because you're already up there, unless you want to tell me differently, I'm assuming you're basically holding the doctor's tools for the doctor. The doctor essentially needs a nurse right now to assist with the operation.
Would you like me to hold your tools for you?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
I hope I didn't anger any nurses out there by saying that. Essentially, an assistant doctor or an advanced nurse of some kind. So you are, because nurses constantly get lumped in the wrong category with that.
Would that I were on a level of a nurse.
Yeah. So
They're far above me.
Holding it, you take the tools out and you are going to go to work. So let's see. You're going to be removing the Orb of Journeys from coral bedding that it has been grown from the orb's casing over the course of 2,000 years. This is going to be a difficulty 4 roll.
Is there can I assist with it somehow?
I think doing something assisty, but
Yeah.
How would you assist?
Well, with my xenobiology background,
Do you have xenobiology, doctor? Okay.
I could be helping to. Well, actually, I just thought of 2 things. So, with xenobiology background, I could be helping to distinguish where the coral ends and where the casing begins, and also through my exoarchaeology background.
That would be very helpful.
That sold me.
Okay.
there you go. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll let you assist. Okay. So the way you're going to assist, so for you, it's going to be. This is going to be surgery. So this is going to be control medicine.
Okay.
Cool.
So, and for you,
Control is
Talon.
tied for my lowest stat.
Yeah.
Okay.
For you, Talon.
I have a control 11.
For you, Talon. I honestly think that reason science will still apply here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
No, this would be a reason medicine.
Okay.
Yeah. This would be a reason medicine check.
What are you thinking?
Target's 13. We can just live with that, or we can have a new plan.
What was it? Control what? Medicine?
Medicine, yeah.
Oh, mine is the same. We must just
I have
have
14.
control
Really?
medicine.
Because your control is so high, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, basically being able, the trick of it is not so much in the scalpeling as the staying still while you do it.
It's a steady hand.
Right.
You're doing some
Since we're
seriously
kind
controlled
of
work. Yeah.
So maybe if you point the way for me, Doctor, I could
She
try
assists.
it.
What have you done to Hector?
Staying still.
I was like, what happened?
Not again!
Throw a pip
So
at
there's an
it.
explosion, and the master steps out of the
Got one.
portal. So
I have one right now.
yeah. All right.
So she assists. Yeah. Yeah. Gimme.
Can you help me with that then?
So narratively,
so hold on. Yeah, I'm going to change it on you because because my rationale as the GM is that Rue is not trained in medical surgery. Is that correct?
No.
So then I'm going to have you roll something different than medicine.
Okay.
Because you would be using a skill set that you're most familiar with to have a steady hand to cut this thing free. So for you, I would probably
Control security?
no. I might change it on you because again, you're using a skill set to conduct a medical procedure here, and it would have to translate into a skill set that's prevalent to what Rue knows.
Right, I'm
So
trying basically an athletic task.
yeah.
Like your hand over mine kind of thing, and I'm just aiming on keeping my body controlled.
I'd be down to try that.
Man, this is tricky. I want to say it's going to be daring medicine.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem right to me that stat-wise it makes more sense for Rue to conduct a surgery while the doctor tells you what to do. It should be the doctor conducting the surgery.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like narratively speaking, I feel like it's fair to move that specialty to move the way that specialty would translate for a tactical-minded officer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Daring medicine?
so I think daring medicine for you.
Okay. I'd like an extra momentum.
You can have that.
It's the same check.
Nice. Daring
So
medicine.
So-
I'd say
I would say the way we're going to rationalize this real quick, just to give it to you, is that Rue's experience with zero-G training actually makes them the optimal instrument to conduct this.
I'd say I'd like to potentially suggest that, like,
Sure, yeah.
as I'm moving into place, like, surgery I can do easily. Moving around in high pressure things, like, I'm
Right.
not athletic. Like, I slip on my way up, or I, like, almost bobble something in the moment that sort of makes me realize I might not be the best choice for this. If
Okay.
that is okay.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. That works fine. Yeah. So that's how you. So Throlo.
So I'm reaching
Shiros is gonna-
to sort of be like, all right, and
Whoa, you got it?
sorry.
It's all right. Steady. You have steady?
You make it look really easy.
Practice. Different skill sets. I wouldn't know how to do that, even if, I could stay there and do it.
Maybe I could tell you?
Hey, I don't want to intrude on your procedures.
Talon, if you can supervise, I think the commander might be the steadier hand down here.
Of course.
I mean, I'm happy to help if I can help. For sure.
We
All right.
need this done right.
Can't fault that. All right. Tell me what to do. Guide my hand. Hang on. A little more air into the buoyancy. You're gonna sing. Yep.
Okay.
There.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to.
All right.
So for this, I'll let you use your reason medicine
Oh, sweet!
to
Great.
assist because Rue's taking point.
Great. All right.
So difficulty is 4.
There's my one again.
I'm going to spend 2 threat to raise that complication range.
Makes sense.
So 18s or betters are complication. Difficulty is 4.
All right.
Have at it, you guys.
Xenobiology focus?
Yep.
All right. That's 3 successes from me.
And 2 more.
Okay.
All right. So
It's
we
tricky
get my
work.
momentum back.
What was the difficulty?
It was 4.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right. So it takes a few minutes, and y'all are kind of just calmly waiting, but no complications. You managed to guide Rue as they are very expertly and very gently cutting into the coral. In a few parts, you do have to dig into the body of the coral itself. And it is causing some damage to the life of the coral, but you're able to do it in the most minimally evasive way. Again, I said it. So as the last cut happens, the laser, and you feel the orb loosen. And you all watch as these two lift it from the coral. Lift it free for the first time in 2,000 years. It has been removed from the coral rock face and just pull it aside.
And Mala might sense for the first time a tiny little bubble of like protectiveness,
Mm-hmm.
tiny bit from Talon.
Okay.
I felt it a little bit earlier when you found out you were related to Sage.
Yeah, that would be the only other time. Yeah,
It's a nice feeling.
it makes Talon not feel good, but okay.
One of the
Oh,
things.
really? It's
well,
not a good
Well,
feeling?
no.
It's a feeling.
It's just a feeling, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It's just any
House of
feeling.
Shalom.
It's kind of like,
I will note this
Okay.
for you to give you something to use narratively. Is
Yeah.
when Talon does have a feeling surface, the intensity is so much stronger than humans feeling.
Oh.
She
okay.
doesn't have feelings on like a 5 or a 6. They usually are at 8 or a 10. And
So it's like-
they're being kept under under years of discipline and a brain. The Vulcan brain has itself been changed fundamentally to
Yeah.
actually be able to suppress emotion. But when you do get that glimmer of that feel, it is a wellspring of emotion that's being kept under tight pressure. So even though it
like
doesn't surface, it's
Yeah, you're like a
yeah.
love feeling. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys pull it free and come back down to the resting on the ocean bottom.
Well, we've got it, Lieutenant Commander. Now what?
Does it?
we take it back to the Sally ride. And learn from it. Thank you. Thank you, Commander. Well done.
Heck of a thing.
All right. Well, let's make sure we get the rest of this someplace safe too.
May I spend one momentum, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh heavens.
No. It's a.
It's a momentum, not a
bland?
threat.
I'm
No,
burning-
I know.
I'm asking. I'm having Lark make a roll.
Okay.
Oh, Lark is gonna feel something.
Ooh.
Okay. 1 sec. Sorry, I know I'm being all mysterious and stuff, but this is actually part of the plan, so I need to figure it out.
Lark Sage making mystery rolls in absence of command supervision.
Yeah.
That's always gone well.
Okay. I'm gonna
What is she
re-roll that.
trying to hack
Because I
the
get to
ocean?
re-roll
What's
that.
happening?
Oh, that,
She's
okay.
doing like small craft. There's like something trying to eat
okay.
Abigail.
All right. So you guys finish. Finish. As you're, you have the orb now. So as you're moving back to the shuttlecraft.
Yes, but we're gonna be transported back onto it, right?
Yes, but the orb can't be. So
Yeah,
as y'all
oh,
are
that's
moving,
right. We actually have to-
as y'all are moving back to the shuttlecraft, you hear Lark come over the intercom and say, wait, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Lark to away team.
What do you have?
I've got the shuttle bay force field working again.
Excellent.
Thanks
That's
to
good
me.
news.
You hear Jiv on the intercom on the channel.
Does that make up for not maintaining the shuttles?
He kind of walked me through it. Yes, thanks to me and Lark, Lieutenant Sage.
Can't get used to that.
All right. We will be coming through fairly shortly. We have the orb in hand.
Okay. It does
Do I have to do
indeed.
anything special while we're down here to beam the coral up?
What's that?
Do I have to just lay anything down to beam the
No.
coral safely? Okay.
No. The coral. The Sally rides, her systems will be able to. It's like beaming up bedrock in a way. The coral itself is not like physically. It's not attached to the bottom of the ocean the way. It's like a surgical beaming, so to speak.
Yeah.
You can't just beam it away from the surface. Jiv will be able to do it with a good roll, essentially. But you'll need to create an artificial environment on the Sally ride for it to exist, and that includes a high-pressured, low-light environment. Because so far the only light that's existed around has been the light of the orb. Mm-hmm. So
Is the orb glowing? What's it look like?
it's glowing. It looks like a giant golden infinite symbol that's constantly spinning. Is the
It's
best
not
way to
in the
describe
case?
it.
It's okay, what am I looking at?
So,
it's in the case.
Bajoran orbs essentially look like think of an hourglass that's made out of liquid gold that's spinning with a bright center. It's kind of what it looks like. Inside the case itself, you're only aware that light is peeking out of it.
So what we're
Brilliant
seeing
streams of
is
light.
a case with light coming out of the cracks.
Yes, but inside, I mean, the light that's glowing on the corners of the orb itself, you're not actually able to see the orb inside. But yes, you are watching the light crack out from the yes, as she's gonna show you. So, essentially,
I'm just curious, like what the case looks like, what it's made
it's
of.
very ritualistic.
picture
It
is
looks looks like it's made out of wood, but there's no way wood could survive down here for that long and at this pressure.
Yeah.
It would be smashed, and yet. So, so you guys board the shuttle. The shuttle bay doors open up, and you see a nervous-looking Lark as the back of the shuttle actually opens to the deep ocean, and you guys step through the force field, and the water just it leaves you as it's not permitted to pass through that force field. So it's like squeegeeing off as y'all step on board dry. Couple of like whiffs of steam as y'all walk through, and Lark is just managing it, and the orb passes through with you guys, and then
Where are the commander's crutches?
what's that?
Where are the commander's
They're right
crutches?
back.
They're inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I was like, where are they? I will get them.
All right.
as you know, no, I've got them.
Yeah.
It's not going to take any kind of rolls to get the orb in the shuttle back to the Sally ride. So we can we save some time here by saying that you guys take off from the surface of the water. You got about 20 minutes or so before this thing arrives. So as you're getting back to the Sally ride, you see that the Sally ride has left the surface of the water and is sort of moving, maneuvering thrusters. But as y'all are approaching it, Sage just goes, "Oh boy!" As y'all see this
What, oh boy?
creature leaning into the Sally ride, and the Sally ride is kind of like pushing back against it in order to keep at stations keeping. And so you must imagine that on board it's a little bumpy.
And the ship is a rocking.
But Sage beams as the shuttle comes around, you guys passing through the shield barrier, and she's gonna have to roll to land this thing. This huge creature is just kind of nuzzling up against the Sally still. So, would you like her to spin a momentum? I'm going to set the difficulty of this at 3.
Yes, please.
I would like to
We're
keep
down
the
to 2.
Abigail in ship shape since she's apparently not been maintenance. We're gonna have to.
That's 2 crits. So go ahead and
Wow.
Nicely done.
difficulty
Lieutenant.
is 3, so you
Oh,
get
difficulty is 3.
1 momentum.
Yeah.
She takes you in, and despite the turbulent outside despite what's going on outside the shuttlecraft right now, you guys actually managed to just guide this thing in and just the force fields gently land you, and Sage just goes, "Whew. Well, now I can say I've done it all, kind of. I mean, I'm sure we'll run into something. I'm sure we'll run into something else, Captain, Commander, whoever's listening. Everyone's listening.
We all heard you.
Okay, whoopsie doodle.
All right, Lieutenant Hart, they are safely aboard. Let's get out of here, please,
Okay.
before Blanche shows up.
All right, you guys begin to accelerate.
I have a question about the coral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to make that.
I need
roll,
some
don't we?
science done. Is it possible for us to find a place to just transport it? And
Yes.
So it
Site to
doesn't have to
site.
leave. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's okay.
You would probably need to. You couldn't. It would be. You can do a site to site, but that's very challenging.
Okay.
It would be easier to beam it on board and then beam it to transport it to somewhere and then beam it down. Do you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
We didn't really go over this, but I'll go ahead and do it right now, as everybody is, I'm assuming, transporting the orb to wherever that's going to be on the ship. I'm up on the bridge, and I do this. Martinez to away team.
Aye, sir.
Aye, Captain.
Here's the plan, gang. We've got 2 giant creatures trying to hump up on the ship, so we're going to go ahead and skedaddle. From our scans earlier, the coral is probably going to be okay for the next 24 hours. My plan was
Probably longer than that.
longer than that.
I'll give you an idea. This coral could probably survive without light source for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Beautiful. We're going to head up to the beach. We're going to have a nice little beach time, figure out what we're going to do with the orb, as well as putting all of the smartest brains on the ship on the problem of safely transporting the coral to another part of
when
the
you say
ocean
that,
floor.
Lieutenant Baker swivels in her chair. And
Yeah,
looks
you're
at
on
you.
that team, Baker, yes.
Thank you, Captain.
Of course. So, as well as putting another team on the archaeological dig of the remains of the planet's visitors. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next 24 hours. But right now, we're moving away from the humping machines.
Will we at least leave our numbers, sir?
Absolutely not, Commander.
Understood.
Jiv, who's on the bridge right now monitoring the shields, when Rue says that, he just goes, you see the Tellarite just go,
And you got a little flare.
So many.
so,
Heart, take us away.
all right, let's roll for heart. Redemption for heart. I'm gonna
Redemption.
set the difficulty here, trying to get out of here, I'm gonna set the difficulty again at 3.
We were going to use a momentum for Lieutenant Hart.
Okay.
Lieutenant
Hart. She's gonna get an extra die.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Pip, die.
Okay.
What's that?
Gain 2 momentum.
There's all kinds of bullshit right now.
Psychic, right?
Wow. I rolled 3. I rolled that. Yeah.
What did
What? You rolled 3 ones?
I rolled 3 1s. So you actually get. Let's see. Difficulty was 3, 2, 4, 6. You get 3 momentum back.
Great.
As
Redeemed
Lieutenant
yourself,
Hart
Hart.
crits on a level that would make Jiv blush.
Everybody on this ship is good at their job. Everyone.
Everyone's blushing. Occasional exceptions.
So many
The odds of rolling 3 1s like that is pretty incredible.
Yes.
It's literally
That is
Never
the first
tell us
time
square,
I've
right?
never rolled 3 1s before.
Cute.
Holy, I should have taken a picture of that. Damn.
Heart, good job.
Hart's like, cool, Captain.
Hart.
Beep. Pedal to the metal, Commander. So,
I just imagine Lieutenant Hart as Hart from the 80s, like, that's right, Commander.
yeah,
like
damn.
rocking.
That, Lieutenant Hart, you now have the best roll I've ever made in this game so far. With the spent momentum, 3 1s. Damn. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Good job, Cap.
So Hart easily guides the Sally Ride away from this vessel, or this creature that's the size of a vessel. And as y'all begin to ascend in the water column, eventually you hear the groaning sound as the creature looks like it's getting a little irritated and agitated, and then eventually just kind of jerks away the way a shark does when it loses interest. It kind of just nods its head away and begins to swim off. And Sally just, a huge eruption, white-capped water is this Sam. You couldn't help yourself, could you? You just couldn't.
Oh, come on, you know those euphemism cuts in films sometimes when
my
they do
goodness.
literally that.
So anyway, out of the ocean comes the Sally Ride,
Yeah.
and there's no escaping this. I can't escape it.
You can't.
So
Can't stop, won't stop.
The Sally Ride gains altitude and breaks free from the surface of the oceanic layer of this planet.
It's all dirty. The more scientific you try to make it sound, the dirtier it gets.
Exactly.
Okay.
No,
so
try again. Try another way.
Sure.
No,
So the
that's
Sally
good.
Ride erupts from the white froth of the ocean and ascends into the sky at a higher plane. And you guys eventually pull away from the sea level.
Oh my.
And we.
And
We pull away? Okay.
Oh, God.
Sure.
I thought the Zazzard episode was our worst. I really did. I didn't think leaving
And then you
planet
humped us
side
with
was
a
the
giant
worst thing we were gonna go.
crocodile. So, yeah.
Hey, that was you. I'm just saying.
Complications can mean a lot of things. You could have
Yeah.
taken threat,
Yeah.
but no.
It was time for a goofy. Shut up. Forget it. Moving on.
We should have known it was coming when Sally Ride went blue.
How long have we called it the ship of ships?
True.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
now Sally Ride finally got her short name. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
The ship,
She got her short
the ship
episode.
met a sea creature. So you guys break
She's
free
now
from.
getting
so we're gonna,
on the shore.
We're gonna move along. All right. So Sally Ride breaks free from the ocean. Are you leaving orbit, or I'm sorry. You're planning on maneuvering the Sally Ride into orbit now, taking her back.
Literal beach
Well,
day.
Are you literally
It
looking to
depends.
set? Because you can set the
We
Sally Ride
can.
down beachside.
What would be the benefit of that?
Not really. I mean,
It's
now
more
that
cinematic?
the only reason
Yeah.
the only reason to keep the Sally Ride planet side was so you could retrieve the orb.
Yes.
But now that you've done that, she can operate at full efficiency from orbit.
We gotta look at that crash side.
we will.
We
but
can,
we can
yeah.
beam down to
Transporters.
that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can beam down for that.
So, all right, so we're heading up to orbit.
Okay. You can even beam the coral.
From orbit?
Yes, absolutely. You
Oh,
can
wow.
you can conduct that whole operation and beam it back down. Site to site transport is always more complicated, according to the Star Trek Adventures rules. It makes sense.
It's the 24th century.
Yes.
We can beam objects of that size from orbit.
Yes.
Great.
So, Sally Ride begins to
sounded
leave the
dirty
the blue glow of the atmosphere, and pulls free of the planet, the gravitational pull of the planet, as y'all slip back into the stars, and leaving this ancient world behind. You establish an orbit. Far beneath you is the clouds and the great continents, the waters that you all have witnessed before. And now seeing it from space once again gives a little more perspective on the size of this world. Once Sally rides in space, you guys now have free reign once again to conduct operations. So what is the first thing you would like to do?
Chew out Jiv.
Okay, so we'll cut to engineering.
Yes.
Cut to engineering.
I feel like that can wait, but sure. No, that's what we have. We have an ancient Bajoran orb on board. But yeah, let's go.
Cut to Marla turning the corner off the turbo lift.
Sir, how long have these gone unmaintenanced? We cannot wait for this. This is warping in kind.
It's just been blushing. I need some angst. No, there's too much bluff going on. It's a bad influence on you. I told you, happiness makes me angry.
Okay, so you round the corner off the turbo lift into main engineering, where you see Jiv is talking to one of the lieutenants down there, and he looks up and sees you, and as you're approaching, he looks up and he goes, "What?"
You want to tell me why you didn't mention that we had a ship that was not maintenance that we took on a mission at the bottom of an ocean that we've never been?
Where do you want me to start?
Start it the fuck up.
Well, I can tell the Admiralty that you called them a fuck up if you want, that I didn't have the guts to question my orders when they told me to add a whole new skeleton to the surface of our damn ship.
Yeah. I did tell him to shut up, though.
I am underpowered when it came to refitting this vessel.
Yeah, but you could have just told me.
Told you?
Yeah.
No, you were ordered to shore leave. I got special permission from the captain to stay on board the ship and do my job.
I didn't have shore leave the entire time.
What?
You could have put in a special request or something. I could have helped.
You're fine, Mala. We did it. We got the job done. It was an under-maintenance shuttle. We corrected it in the mission. There's no harm done. It's fine. Shuttle did not take priority. And besides, when was the last time we used one of our shuttles? It was low on the... Look, I have a whole work list right here. And he holds up a data pad and he says, that is not on the top priority list. I don't know if you remember, but we had a Genesis-created organic life form infiltrate our computer systems. We lost a bioneural gel pack. We had a hole blasted through our backs that had to be repaired. And then I had to refit the entire ship with new torpedo bay system, a new complement of torpedoes, new phaser banks. I had to put a whole new skin on the surface of Sally.
Are you trying to make me jealous?
Maybe.
Apparently.
Well, it's working.
So yeah, the shuttles kind of came in last place when it came to we need to maintenance this thing. But it's on the to-do list, and that one doesn't need maintenance anymore. Lark did a great job. I talked her through it.
Yeah, she's great.
You want to work on one of these shuttles?
Please.
Yeah, here, take this one. He hands you a data pad, and he says, this shuttle's been needing maintenance forever now.
Forever?
Well, we've never used it. We keep using Orion dump shuttles, or whatever the commander calls them.
It's true.
I think it's about time we start using our own stuff.
So, can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Arrow Wing?
It's nice.
No one ever uses them.
I don't understand.
You built that system onto a starship. You should be using it. That is a sexy machine.
Oh, don't say sexy. It's been a day.
What? Why? What? I don't want to know. I stay in the belly of engineering, so I don't have to see or hear what goes on everywhere else.
The kind of emotions a crocodile 900 feet long has. I think it was really lonely. Not anymore.
When you glance back to Jiv, you see a Tellarite who's literally doing this.
I'm sorry.
What in the name of Mount Saleya are you talking about?
Yeah, nothing. Sorry I yelled at you. It's been
I'm
a lot of
Tellarite.
explosions.
It's how we talk to each other.
I know.
It's bizarre when you apologize. That's what's bizarre.
I know.
Well, this has been fun, Mala. He slaps on your shoulder. He says, you go have a good day trying to get sleep with your sexy crocodile stuff.
Stop saying sex.
He moves off.
Martinez to senior staff.
Hi, sir.
Yes, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Let's meet in the science lab at your earliest convenience.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it, Captain. See you there.
I take off. I want to get there early enough so that I can mark it, lay out in pencils and papers and mark off hours since last staff meeting.
Okay, so we'll cut to staff meeting. Teams have been organized as you've ordered, and the Coral not being central to the story, we'll say that the biology department here, because the biological sciences on the Sally ride have taken point and being organized by Lieutenant Baker to get that coral into a safe location where it can thrive. So that's being done.
Can I throw in a
Hashtag something
suggestion, maybe?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have no idea if this would work, but it seems like if it was flourishing at an unusually low depth because the light that shouldn't be there was there, we're going to have to plant it somewhere higher. So we probably want to get our environment to slowly change pressure towards whatever destination goal and see
Well,
how it reacts.
So
That was just my thought.
yeah, and to follow that train of thought, so what's going to happen is again, the light source is what was drawing food to the location. So where this coral naturally grows is actually at a much shallower depth, like you were suggesting. So it's a simple matter of beaming it to where they're seeing other coral like this grow and making sure that it doesn't tip the balance, which is
I just don't want it to explode or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't
But
want to give
essentially,
it the
you
bends.
have essentially Shishiros has the total right of it. That's exactly what the science team. So we'll just say that based off of your input in biology and taking that order, Lieutenant Baker puts it into motion.
You can help with the fluid dynamics. That's not my area.
Of course.
So, you guys move into the meeting room at the research. You're in the research lab.
Yes.
Okay, so moving into the research lab.
With the orb.
What's that?
With the orb.
Okay, the orb is in there.
Great.
It has been thoroughly cleaned up. All the barnacles and whatnot has been removed, so to speak, the life that has grown off the side of it. You see now that while the material looks wooden, it's actually not. It's made out of some kind of mineral akin to metal. But but the mineral itself isn't unusual. What's unusual is that this metal, the mineral itself of the container is an ore common to Bejor. What's unusual is that it didn't collapse upon itself at the depth it was at. Instead, it looks pristine. And there it sits in front of you. And you see Lark is just staring at it. And every now and then she'll just glance up at you, Talon, and she just goes back to staring at it. Everyone's gathered. Jiv comes walking in and goes, "Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness, there it is. Look at that. Something engineering cannot explain."
Yet. Hopefully. Right, so here it is. We found it. We found the orb. And we will be taking this back to the Federation and Bejor.
Oh, Captain, it's worth noting that Bejor is currently surrounded by the Dominion.
Right. Currently, and hopefully not permanently.
We protect it.
The orb?
Yes.
Lark says, "Yeah, Talon's... I'm sorry, Captain. Yes, I believe that Lieutenant Commander Talon's correct. I don't know why, but I get the impression that if anyone found out we had this that wasn't an ally of the Federation, they might want it from us."
Sure. It's another secret we'll have to keep then. Okay, so that's the plan, right? We have it. We're to bring it back to the Federation and eventually Bejor when it's not surrounded.
Why? Why us? How did we even know it was out? Doesn't anyone else wonder?
It called to us. It wanted us to find it.
I suppose an orb of journeys probably doesn't want to stay still on the ocean floor of a planet.
2,000 years it's been down there.
Maybe it got bored.
Have we tried talking? Hello, orb?
Maybe you should knock, Doctor, is what Jiv says.
With that, are you joking?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
no problem.
Lieutenant Commander Talon, why don't we go over what we know about artifacts like this?
Bajoran orbs? Very little is known about the Bajoran orbs. You, being somebody who's studied in Bajoran history and spirituality, a subject your mother despised you learning.
Oh, I'm so here for this.
It is remarkable how little is known about the Bajoran orbs. They really defy a lot of scientific explanation. And every contact that Captain Sisko has had with, or is he captain yet? He might be becoming captain now, but Sisko at DS9. I think when the Dominion War starts, he gets promoted.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey. So, but a lot of the reports that come from his experience with the orbs and the wormhole aliens, there's so much mystery shrouding it. So little is known about what they are capable of doing. But there has been reports of visions. There's been reports of experiences that people have when they open and stare into the orb or meditate on the orb. It doesn't always happen. It's almost like the orb chooses. But there has been a lot of evidence to suggest that a sentience behind the orb exists, and that they might somehow be tethers to the wormhole aliens. But it's very hard to say. It's a lot of supposition. And a lot of things, because remember, the orbs really, the Federation had no idea about these things until they were encountered at DS9, and they became a little more well known. So that is a mystery in a box right in front of you.
How much scientific study can we actually perform on this artifact?
I mean, that's been a big question. I mean,
is it something that the Federation policy states that we shouldn't because it's like a religious sacred
These are
object? Cultural
icons and religious icons of the Bajoran people, so they are to be treated with the utmost respect. And in this case, it's an orb that nobody, at least in recent memory, knew existed.
Yeah.
So it's a huge discovery. This is a monumental discovery for the Federation. And it's going to, the existence of this orb and its discovery by the Sally Ride could potentially change the course for the Bajoran people, and further answer questions about the origins of their species and the connections that they have with what they call the prophets.
Tip the balance in their application to join the Federation.
It is nothing short of the greatest discovery that the Sally Ride has made, next to Jenny.
We're discussing all this stuff, and then I turn to Lieutenant Sage.
Okay.
And I look at her for a moment, and I think we should. And I just gesture to it. I'm not even sure how to finish the sentence.
She immediately goes, I don't know about that.
I'm afraid as well.
Let me think about it. I mean, I know that I'm gonna have to, because it seems like that's where we're going, but I think maybe I need some time. If that's okay, Captain. I just don't know what we're gonna...
I'm sorry, I'm a little lost, Lieutenant. What is it that you're alluding to?
Lieutenant Commander is talking about possibly trying to connect to the orb. And the Bajorans, my people, from what I've read, I guess they meditate or something.
Okay.
With incense, and then they do this thing, and then supposedly the orb is supposed to talk to them.
Okay.
Seems like taking some time to research the specifics of those cultural practices to make sure that this is done in as respectful a manner as possible would be in order. Perhaps you'll take point on that.
Yeah, and taking personal time to prepare yourself for something like that, of course, is also...
That would be great, yeah.
Recommended, yeah. I mean, we have time. We're still here in orbit. We've got an archaeology team working on possibly retrieving the craft that landed on the planet surface, as well as preparing the appropriate burial ritual for our two visitors who were on the planet. I believe one of them was Ote Kai, the other one was
Ote Kai and Lurani.
Yeah, so that's all taken care of as well. We will retrieve the bodies and possibly shoot them into a sun or something, whatever.
Do you want to get to that?
I mean,
we can do that if you want to jump to those scenes.
All I'm saying is I'm mentioning all this as a way to say we have stuff to do right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's no rush on this.
No, not at all. You guys have it right now.
We did it. We got it. Mission complete. We're moving the coral. Everybody's doing a great job.
So when all of this is brought to a close, like, Lieutenant Sage goes back to her quarters. She moves past you, Talon, and just says, "Can I talk to you later, maybe?"
Yes, whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you. And she kind of exhales and walks out. Right about now is when I think everyone's duty shift for the day would be coming to an end. You're getting some remarkable data coming up from the archaeological expedition. This is the information I'm going to go ahead and give you guys before we cut to after-hour scenes of the day. Come on.
I didn't even go there till later. Okay.
So what you basically get is, that this indeed was the crash site of these two scientists. It looks like once they touched down here, they realized they were never leaving this planet.
Yeah.
And it took them a while. And they were clearly scientists because they preserved all of their logs as much as they could. What you get is these two lived out the rest of their lives together.
Yeah.
And as y'all dig further into the logs, you discovered that at one point they fell in love. And the two of them essentially just looked after the orb. What's kind of sad that you notice is there are log entries where apparently they had encounters with the orb. Like the orb was able to reach out to them.
Wow.
And judging from the log entries and the diary entries of these two, they became aware about 20 years before their death that they were the last of their kind. What they discovered through the Orb of Journeys is the two of them realized that they were the very last of the Dulagari, living out the rest of their days together here on this planet. And there is a journal entry about how that crushed them with sadness, but that the Orb of Journeys showed them things. It showed them other worlds and other possibilities. And
did they have the orb in their possession?
Apparently, yes.
And then my next question, how did it end up on the ocean floor?
Yeah, getting to that.
Yeah.
So the orb was able to, according to these journal entries, the orb would show them other worlds. And so even though that these people were trapped here on this planet, they were able to see things that no one has ever seen before. And they lived out their lives together, protecting this orb and staying quiet. It looks like not too long after they began to realize that they could never take off, they stopped sending SOSs and just resigned themselves to live out the last of their days as the last members of their species on this planet. When Odokai died of natural causes, Lurani was not far behind, and she, knowing that she was going to die soon, according to log entries, she created a raft. She built a raft out of materials that she had, and she placed the orb on it and sent it to sea, and watched it vanish into the sunset. And then she, according to her last log entry, is her plans to lay down next to Odokai and wait. And gratitude for her life, gratitude that she had this chance to live, gratitude to the orb. The final Dulagari log entry, and she signs off.
They're so brave.
So you see,
It's remarkable.
you see an ancient campsite where these two were able to build a life together and live out the last of their days.
I'll check in with the archaeology experts.
They do show that that they roughly died about months apart.
Yeah.
And they have shown that she dug herself a grave. It was kind of a poorly dug grave, probably because of her age, but she dug herself a grave, and the archaeology team would report that, like, it's not as morbid as it sounds. It looks like she very ritualistically and peacefully laid herself down and waited to be reunited with Odokai.
So we get all of this information, and then the question is, like, what do we do? These visitors were not supposed to be on this world, but they landed on this world. They knew what they were doing there. They lived out their lives. They buried themselves. Do we leave them? Do we remove them from the surface of the planet? How does the Prime Directive fit into this? Do we take
there's
the
no-
craft?
Seems
Do we?
to have expressed agency in the manner of
Exactly,
their burial, so
exactly.
it is probably the maximally
Is-
lawful thing if they're
So I can answer this for you.
Yeah.
Because this is something Martinez would know. There would be no harm in leaving them. None.
But then follow-up question. There's life happening in the ocean, at least, and
Yeah, in the evolutionary tract of life in the ocean.
Yes.
We're talking billions of years.
billions.
It's also to be perfectly honest, and I would give you this, Talon. The life cycle of this solar system, this planet's not going to survive billions of years. When that protostar begins to reach its apex, it's going to create a second sun, and those two are probably going to collide. The solar system, this solar system's days are numbered the moment that protostar was formed next to this supergiant.
It will transition from binary to non-binary.
It will, and there'll be a big boom when that happens. And
Okay, well then I have another like Star Trek bigger picture question. When a planet is in this exact predicament and doesn't have intelligent life, what is Starfleet's policy concerning life on this planet? Is there attempts to
Record
save
it,
animal
study
life,
it.
record it, study it, and then let it go?
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's going to be millions, if not billions,
It's billions,
of years
yeah. It's
before
like
we have to.
We're not
Sure.
gonna be
Because
around either.
that too follows into the very difficult question of Prime
Yeah.
Directive and interfering with. Do you know what I mean? So
life finds a way. Yeah, I
it's
gotcha.
kind of that. Now there are some mitigating circumstances for stuff like that. Like if it's a species that's about to, like if it's a sentient species that's about to be wiped out. If it was a pre-industrial intelligent species that's about to be wiped out by its own sun, Starfleet has no right to interfere. If it's Romulus about to be destroyed by a supernova, it's time to help that culture out.
If
Do you know what I
it's
mean?
a-
There's
yeah.
this is the ethical and moral
Yeah.
this is the dilemma of Starfleet and the lines that they have to draw and why it's so goddamn hard being a member of Starfleet sometimes when you encounter these situations.
And even then, those rules are broken. There'll be a tribe of intelligent life and a culture and a civilization forming, and a natural disaster is striking that could wipe them out.
And-
like a Pompeii, and
or-
like Starfleet at times has not interfered, and other times is like, yes, we're going to save these people in a way that they'll never know, but we used our technology to prevent a
'Cause
natural disaster.
The other scenario, the counterbalance of that is what if you save an entire civilization and then one day you find Borg 2.0 at your doorstep? Like, messing with the universe, man, you got to be real careful with it. With advanced technologically advanced races like the Federation has to be walk that fine line of responsibility all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So during the evolutionary track, this solar system will likely be engulfed by the collision of these two stars at some point billions of years down the road.
My last question.
Millions, I should say.
Last question is, will the craft and like the little encampment and whatever these two beings, like their little footprint on this planet, will that in any way poison or dilute
No.
or affect like natural
life around
evolution
it?
of any life
No.
or ocean life that crawls out from here? Is it going to bite a metal and die or
No,
something?
it looks like after 2,000 years,
All right.
this planet's mostly claimed this site. Nature has a way of doing that. Nature will claim it. And in this case, nature has very much claimed the site.
we're taking all the data.
Yes. Preserved. You guys have managed to discover and
Yes.
preserve an ancient race that it went extinct 2,000 years ago. I mean, if the Sally Ride didn't accomplish her mission objective in just this episode alone, you guys have done a hell of a job. But really,
just
there's
wish-
nothing more.
Just wish we could have found a little flute. That's it. That's all.
A little flute.
Just a
Jeez,
little
you're gonna bring
flute.
up the inner light
Huh?
now?
Wow. Oh, that's
Jeez,
all I
that's-
My
wanted.
feels were
just for my
already
desk. Just a
destroyed.
little flute for my desk right there. Just a little reminder of an entire
gain a
civilization.
grip.
Huh? We do. We have an orb.
Um,
Another team later will come back and excavate it, I'm sure.
So we're gonna cut to with everything well-oiled machine at this point, and the Sally Ride wrapping up her work here tomorrow. Everything will be completed. You'll have what you need. We're gonna go into off-duty. So before we jump to the next part of the story, while we still have some time, if there are, well, we've got 25 minutes. So if there is anybody who thinks their characters need some time to do stuff, I will say that you are being contacted by Narendra Station.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You do get contacted from Narendra Station.
Okay. I'll be back.
Well, this would be off duty, so it's about the time you walk into your quarters.
Okay. I sit down.
And you hear the chirping sound of an incoming communique.
Yeah. Make sure my room is not messy. Okay. Hey!
You see his blue face smiling at you back on the screen. He's wearing his commander's pips and the familiar yellow uniform. Zadis always did look good in that yellow uniform. And he just smiles back for you and he goes, "Hey!
You look good in that uniform.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. You alright? You look a little shaken.
There's just been... it's rough being a Betazoid sometimes.
Oh boy. I'm trying to think of the context of that statement. And I'm going to some weird places.
900-foot whale with heart eyes for the Sally.
The ship?
Yeah.
Your ship. This ship. Our ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Let it linger, and then apply it to me.
Whoa, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm great.
I'm going to buy you a brain scrub for the next time you're at...
I might need a new
Yeah.
Holoren when I get back to Narendra.
Oh, that has become the most popular drink on the station.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh no. I
And
bet you've got some stories.
I do. By the way, they named the bar.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got some bets over here, so please lay it on me. Did I win?
Not going to say. You guys are going to have to
What?
come back to Narendra Station for it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me?
Nope.
You're not going to tell me?
Not gonna tell you.
You're not going to tell me?
Nope. Not
You're not going to tell me?
Nope. You're just gonna have to come back to Narendra Station at some point to find out. Tell the captain you need another round of shore leave.
Yeah, all right.
Oh my god.
But maybe if there are bets being placed, maybe I'll give you an edge.
Okay.
Not tonight though.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but if I get you irritated at me, you're not thinking about 900-foot horny crocodile thing. Yeah. See? Coming to the rescue.
That's true.
Glad I could help.
Okay, I'll give you that. I am slightly distracted now.
Yeah, that's what Jerk Kazat is here to save the day.
Yep.
So,
What's up?
not much. Just things have been kind of weird here in Narendra. They've assigned half of the staff as Klingon in the engineering department. Klingons don't like Bolians very much. Turns out they don't like our jokes very much.
Ah,
Yeah.
so just all around jerk Zadis.
I'm trying to be mean, but the truth of the matter is I don't wear that too well.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just hold eye contact.
I got laughed at when I tried to growl at one.
You growled at a Klingon.
I thought I was supposed to. I thought I was supposed to do that. I thought that's how they responded. I thought I was supposed to growl. I didn't know.
That's very sweet.
They thought so too.
Yeah.
It got weird. Apparently growling means a lot of things to Klingons. I didn't
usually
do a lot of my cultural
mountain
studies.
climbing and things.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I managed to dodge that by assigning them duty on the other side of the station. So
Nice.
that worked out well. Good being commander again. Yeah. How's the warp core? How's she doing?
Oh. I mean, she's doing great. I get to see her as much as Jiv lets me. And by lets, I mean I do it anyway.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
it's been fun. Got to ride in the Abigail today. Except there were some complications.
Is that the first time y'all have ever used the Abigail?
That's the first time I've used the Abigail.
Yeah, Sally was in service for a full year before I, wasn't around anymore, and I don't think we ever used the Abigail.
We have got to get them on rotation more.
How's Lark doing? Did she tell you? I have kind of a project, and maybe I shouldn't be telling you about this, but I got kind of a project.
Okay, yeah.
Well, first of all, I think Lark and I
Yeah, no, I mean, I know, right? Yeah.
I don't think so.
No?
Something kind of happened on Narendra that I didn't really tell anybody about, but I had this moment where I just like blurted it out. I asked Lark if it's not wrong for me to talk about this, right? Like I can be open.
No,
You're right.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of just asked. I was having this moment of weakness, and I kind of put Lark on the spot, and I blurted out, "Hey, are you into me?" And
In public?
yeah, it was during like this weird moment where there was a big crowd around, and she'd come up to me and talk. I don't know. I was in a weird place, and anyway, I just blurted it out, and Lark basically was like, "See ya," and it was kind of rough at first, but ever since then, it was great because I kind of had this realization that was the right call.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that Lark told me that a lot of y'all know about her parents' situation with her real parents and her adopted parents, like her trying to figure that stuff out.
Right.
Yeah. So I think she and I connected on a level because we were both feeling a little like we were. Oh, what did the captain used to say? Out to sea. Like we were a little like adrift, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because we both had these weird moments where we're really just there for each other. And I say weird moment, but I mean it was just a very vulnerable moment. And anyway, I felt
care
bad.
about each other.
Yeah, and I felt
Yeah.
bad because all of a sudden I was trying to make it a thing, and it's not a thing. I was just trying to make it a thing, and I think that I weirded her out. But as it turns out, like like everything is cool now, and but I'm starting to try this project with her to help her find her family, and it's the only reason why I'm telling you this. I'm not trying to violate her trust. It's
Right.
just that I know Lark Sage, and if I give her bad news, she's not going to tell anybody about it. Do you know what I mean?
Bad news?
Not yet, but I'm not getting any leads.
Okay.
I'm digging through Starfleet intelligence, and they are.
You are?
Oh yeah. I have a connection. They're doing what they can.
bet you
for
do.
Me. Yeah, I kind of pulled some strings. I got owed some favors.
Yeah.
And
Okay, well, what are you trying to say?
I'm bringing this up because I have a feeling that the next time I call Lark, it's going to be to give her news she doesn't want to hear. And so I'm just saying.
Well, okay, well, in terms of some of the stuff, she's all over the place. Some days she's really easy to read, and some days she's always easy to read. It's a bundle of mess, but I think it's more about some stuff's been going on. I think she's really focused on the family stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you're clear in that zone, but
Okay, that's what I'm most concerned about.
Yeah.
I just know Lark, and I know that
honestly,
it takes forever to get things out of her, and like she doesn't talk to people very much, and
yeah.
I know that if I give her bad news, she's just gonna bury it, and it's just gonna kill her inside. So I just wanted to sort of take a risk and tell one of her friends, said, hey, she's probably gonna need some of that Sally Ride fam support at some
There's
point.
plenty of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, thanks for the heads up. We'll be there for her.
Okay, great.
Don't be afraid to tell her.
I'm really spooked. I gotta be honest. I just.
I get that. I know that sometimes being the person delivering bad news probably doesn't feel very nice. But as a person who has received some very unfortunate but important news, it's better to know immediately.
Yeah. How are you doing, by the way?
I mean, it's weird. I'm afraid at all times, but I feel like it's gonna be okay. I kind of have to feel like it's gonna be okay.
It is gonna be okay.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I long for the day in which the Sally Ride's daily cycle coincides with my duty shift, because I've got to go.
Yeah, and I look forward to winning my bet.
I have a feeling you're going to win it.
Okay.
I'm not a Betazoid. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling you're going to win. Okay. I'm going to get going.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya. In transmission.
Good day. I gotta work on a machine. All right.
So we're going to cut to sick bay.
Hey, Lisa, mind if we switch? For like a couple minutes real quick?
Sure.
Ooh.
Matazi is finishing up
Across the table seeming.
a few of the data pads and goes, it's been fairly boring, aside from all the magnificent organic life that was existing outside our hull. I regret to inform you that there are no DNA samples to take from the hull of the Sally Ride. Her shields actually prevented physical contact.
Dash it all.
I'm sure those who are less scientifically inclined would find fortunate.
I suppose that's good news.
Shh, the doors open as Commander Rue. And Matazi stops and just goes, and, hello, Commander, is everything all right?
Yeah, I got some paperwork that needs doing. We are off duty, technically, so I thought I would just pop my head in quickly to see if...
To sick bay?
Yes.
Sorry, forgive me, Commander. What is paperwork? Oh! I like that. Paperwork. Well, I'm going to put this paperwork down and go back to my duties. More to study. On off hours, of course, Doctor.
Get some rest.
Yes, Doctor. Shh. Matazi strides out, towering over the ensign that steps in to relieve Matazi of their duties for the evening. Ensign walks in and walks across the room and nods, Doctor, Commander, and begins to do immediate signing in. Duty shift starts. Maintenance on the computer core.
Brew has
Commander, how can I help you?
Brew has a pad, but also takes out a notebook, and you can see they're identical. Like, they copied something down onto the pad, onto the notepad from the pad, and they're checking. So,
Unexpected?
well, we took on all of those crew, and I don't have medical clearances yet from Petty Officer Petrov or Dondarin. Are they avoiding you, and are you not running them down?
Right, of course. I'm curious as to what the answer is. Are they avoiding me?
I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
I'll let you make a narrative choice here. Are they avoiding? Do you think they're avoiding Throlo?
But then my new crew? I certainly hope not. I thought they were in last. Did I not send those?
No, not those two, but usually I can count on a certain level of...
I'm guessing we're at condition. We're not at red alert anymore.
No, we're most assuredly at well, what's our feels alert?
Feels alert, okay.
Narratively, I forgot to run them down.
I do expect a certain level of obstinacy, but I've also been getting a marked decrease in complaints of Dr. Shishiro's telling people to go to sleep. And I've certainly never seen you shy from a challenge like earlier this afternoon. Shall we step into the research alcove for a minute?
Ensign, I'll be right back.
Ensign nods. The research area has been emptied out. There's just the orb, which is currently sitting on an alcove behind a force field.
I know you didn't want to talk to me about anything from Narendra, and I don't mean to poke into that. I'm worried. Yeah, performance issue. Work.
I let it interfere with my duties. I'm so sorry. Commander?
It's okay.
Did you have nightmares? After? About hurting the people you love?
Still do.
What?
Still do.
How do you do it?
It's different for me. I know. I don't want to.
I don't even deserve to have the nightmares. I got the good ending. I didn't have to go through what you did.
You went through what you did.
But I feel dangerous. I don't like not trusting. I've been lucky, but I don't like not understanding what's happening or why.
Oh, I wish there were words that could really comfort, that make things. I still feel that way too. Doesn't get easier, but all the words, it's the one that comes to mind. You adapt.
I'm sorry.
For what?
I've been avoiding you. All this time, all I wanted was... You take such good care of all of us. And all I could see was... me hurting you.
That will never happen.
Guess I could try, but it probably wouldn't work out, would it?
I don't think there's a version of you in the multiverse that could hurt a fly.
But I know there is.
No. That never existed.
You're accustomed to living many lives and being many versions. It's new for me.
You say that like I'm used to it. No, Sorry, I wasn't a person you could come to earlier. I wanted to give you space. You ought to be done right by. Don't want to cross boundaries.
I know. I've always tried to stay out of your way. I know you haven't had the greatest times in places like these. You haven't been done right by. I never wanted to make that worse.
Yeah, we were underwater today, and the grav of it reminded me of Regula. I didn't do right by you that day, 'cause I lumped you in with ones that hadn't done right by me, but
I was just a stubborn idiot, and I'm so sorry.
No, I got riled because you're good.
I've been reading back over your files, and I always trusted you. I got a little over eager about keeping you safe.
And you'd think a tactician would have known to pick their battles, but
If you ever meet an Endorian who knows how to pick a battle, let me know.
not picking their battles, but I knew some who picked some good fights.
Oh, no, thank you. I'll leave that to you and Golar's Jem'Hadar. How is that?
I guess it's different for all three of us. He's doing better.
I'm glad you too.
Oh. Is the whole crew now?
Throw. I'll give you this. Shishiros has definitely heard it on the scuttlebutt.
Oh, Shishiros knows.
The fact that Mala said mountain climbing just had us
Yeah.
earlier is an indication, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that role.
It's a term that's getting coined on the ship. It's been going around.
It gets around.
Whole ship now?
I don't think everyone. People have been distracted. I'm not totally sure.
So everyone knows got it. All right. Well, mountain climbers don't feel shame.
Really?
So
We try.
So as it's 2 minutes till,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave the two of y'all in research laboratory for now. As we begin to wrap up, the Sally Ride hanging in orbit over this beautiful world in this binary system. The Orb of Journeys resting in this alcove. Supposedly the key that is the first step to uncovering the secret behind the pull, which is a mystery that's been surrounding the Sally Ride since one of her very first missions. And we'll have Bonnie back next episode.
Yay!
So that'll bring us to a close for this evening. And my producer Max has handed me something to read. At the end of the show, in parentheses, the Shield of Tomorrow Creative Build Challenge on the Geek and Sundry Minecraft server has 1 week left. You can go to sundrycraft.com for more information on the challenge and join the server.
Heck yeah, do it!
That's cool.
Yep.
Do it! You have to show us how to visit!
Some of us didn't know that was happening, and I totally forgot that I've heard this in the background, but I've not gotten a chance to check everything out yet. But Sundry Craft is like one of my favoriteest things in the world. It started Minds of Crafts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it is one of the most wonderful parts of our legacy.
Anyone with a Twitch sub can come play on that server.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So check it out.
I know, right?
If I could just make one request, the bridge. I would just like to see the bridge
Yeah.
in Minecraft. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all.
That's it.
All right, guys. So great damn game tonight. Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and wrap here.
Compliments.
Yeah. So we will catch y'all next Friday night. We should have some more announcements and news for y'all. Until then, thank you for tuning in and joining us tonight for our little adventure. And hailing frequencies are closed.